especially for some of the, give me a second, yeah. Yeah, for some of the agents, your this speaker could be, defaulted as unmuted. So please remember to mute your mic during these presentations, and please join the session using an agency code, and your name is important. If let's say those dwell as agents, please remember to join your this session using an agency code that belongs to GEGM and not GLM. And unauthorized corporate nominees are allowed to participate in this training, and be reminded not to share the training materials or any screenshots of this training on social media because of compliance issue. And kindly stay till the end of our sessions to answer evaluations polling for your CBD accordance. There are only 9 questions to maintain your competencies level. All right, and to fulfill the role and responsibilities of an agent. Now, to me, or to us, CBD is just a number. Most importantly, why Bank of Canada wanted to have 20 CBDs imposed upon all the agents is to ensure you all have the relevant knowledge before you propose any these products to your customers, as to avoid any misrepresentation to your customers. That is the whole point of this objective of this, the mandatory courses and the e-learning. Now, apart from this also, sometimes as agent, you want to actually gain some, extra knowledge, or rather to have some knowledge in other product, especially, for example, this morning we are having liability. Some of you may have zero knowledge, and it's a time for you to really actually, pay attention to these liability classes if you really wanted to develop, a clientele, that actually, being attached, or rather, to recommend this product to customers, potential customers who like to actually take up liability, product. In fact, liability sounds a very big thing. In fact, when Sharon goes through, this liability classes, may find it is quite actually common after all, not so difficult to be promoted to the customers. And most of the time, because we have this resistance to actually acknowledge that this is a product which is actually quite friendly, so it's quite practical to be promoted to your customers. All right. Now, it's very important that you have to take note of the consent. Do not use customers' data without getting customers' consent. That's under the PDPA 2010. It's very, very important. Now, for example, let's go back to the, say example, glitch active, all right? Now, if customers, or rather potential customers, wanted to purchase this glitch active from any intermediaries, of course, obviously, then, the customers will give your consent to release his personal information to be filled into the application form. Now, good, fair, right? Cool. Now, if let's say 3 months down the road, if customer were to purchase another product from the same intermediaries, then these intermediaries may need to get the consent again from the same customers in order to release the same information into another new application. Right? And just to say that the consent cannot be catered for multi-purposes application, but rather you need to get consent each time when the customer actually purchases a product. Or rather, let's say for example, our PA product is actually on auto renewal and auto payment basis. Now, if customers need to update the card number, so you need to get consent from the customers, for him to give you the information to update it, in the application or auto debit form, in order, to actually go through the transactions of the auto debit of a particular PA, right? Now, at the same time, also, very importantly, do not induce customers to purchase or renew insurance products by misrepresentation or use any sales or brochure is authorized by GEG. I'm sure that that's under the FSA 2013. So having a casual lunch with customers is quite usual and quite practical in a way that, well, especially when the motto is still for renewal, you may want to see customer in person. Who knows? Maybe the customer also brought along, the wife together, or bring along the wife together, and can potential to actually close another case. But however, we cannot induce a customer in a way that we buy this kind of very expensive lunch, because we want to induce this customer to purchase something that he does not need at the moment. Answer is no. Because if that happens and they complain to Bank Negara and Bank Negara come back to the insurance company and insurance company happen to find out that this customer is guilty, the intermediary is guilty, then this intermediary may be reprimanded, or it could be also potentially get the license terminated. Now, another thing that I want to highlight is actually on the influence or attract customers, to purchase insurance products or demanding for insurance premium, which is not imposed by insurance company in a way that, sometimes when we propose a product, it's quite healthy that we follow up customers in order to close a case. But however, we cannot be seen like we are actually calling customers or day and night or haunting customers day and night because we want to close a case, and that be quite threatening to customers in that matter. Now, again, if this customers lodge a complaint of Bank Negara and it happen to be true, then this intermediaries also could get reprimanded. All right. Another one question. Let me just finish up first. All right. So I will just finish up by this, the reminder of market conduct essentials. So let me just share my slide first. I see there's one question here. Oh, I see. All product disclosure and contents by agents to insured. But then it's not practical and use theory. In a way, it depends how you interpret it. Yeah. But again, this is something that we cannot really ignore Bank Negara, the directive given by them, because after all, he wanted to actually professionalize the agents, also to create a good sentiment in the market, in order for the customers, to purchase insurance product. But good news is that every year also, there's a survey from I think, one of the regulatory body, and receive a survey that, the public at large. So they are quite receptive, to receive general insurance product. And so far, we don't have a very negative mood being actually put into this, the general insurance industry. And thank you for everybody of this good job here. All right. And another question is actually say, client can always say anything if he is not happy and not interested in the plan. That's why sometimes now we have this soft skill, how to manage customer expectation, especially in this May, when there's soft skill on this managing customer expectation. Come in and join us as FOC, and you can learn something how to manage your customer expectation as well. All right. And also, doing business must install a CAM record in case any issue like motor. This is actually very subjective. I will not comment on this, but it's a good practice to have it. I would say that. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. It's a valid questions. Thank you for sharing with us. So with this, I shall pass to Sharon. Sharon, over to you. Before this, let me just make you as a
yes, so I can share.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Alex. Good morning, everybody. So many of you, 200, 300 over. Okay.
All right, Sharon, you may share
All
slides.
right,
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll share my slides. Yes. Let me share my slides. Modeling is product liability and professional, right?
Yes, in the morning sessions. Yeah.
Okay, let me share. This is DNO. Let me go to the other one. I want to share products and property. Okay. Can you see the slides now? Are you able to see the slides? No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, just also let me know if the slides are moving. Are they moving? Okay, I need to move the slides first. Sometimes WebEx are always at this problem. Okay, are the slides moving now?
Yes, the slides are moving.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's that I have to share with you all. You all can hear my voice, I hope, so loud and clear. Thank you,
Yes,
Chan.
loud and clear, Sharon.
Loud and clear.
All
Okay, that's good. Okay, good morning, everybody. So many of you, 300 over. When I look at the participants list just now, I saw about 300 over, Alex.
Yeah, so the number is catching up. It's like those share markets.
Yeah.
Blue
Yeah,
chip
like Chef Phil,
coming
still
up.
catching up lah. I
All
still
right,
see
all right.
people coming in.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
anyway, it's okay, doesn't matter. I still talk once only. All right, but it's the sad thing is I can't see all of you at the same time. So that's a bit sad now. Okay, let me go back to okay. All right, Alex, can I start now? Can you
Sure,
see me?
you may start. Yeah.
Okay, can, okay, all right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I hope you have a good session with me today. Thank you. See, he is putting up his thumbs up. He can hear me. Okay. In case, just a short reminder. Thank you, Alex, for all the reminder and the introduction. All right, and thank you, Alex, also for giving me this opportunity to do this program with you all. Okay. All right. I just want to tell you all, in case suddenly you can't hear me, or because we are in virtual classes, sometimes we have this kind of problem, not all the time. So yes, good morning, Craft. Okay, sorry, I don't know your name. I only know your agency name. Sometimes I see messages with your agency name. Good morning. Okay. Yeah, but I can't respond to all of you because there are 300 of you here. But if really something is very urgent, some question you want to ask, please put it in the chat box or unmute and ask me, so that I can answer you straight away. I'll try my best to answer all your questions before the end of the session. Our session is 4 hours. We are starting at 9. We will finish at 1 because you're getting 4 hours CPD. Okay, so I'll have a short tea break and a toilet break in between, don't worry. But in case you have any issues with my voice or you can't see the slides, please let me know. Please put it in the chat box or just unmute and let me know if you're allowed to unmute. I don't know because the number is big. So when we allow you all to unmute, the number is big. Sometimes there's too much of disturbance. So just put in the chat box and I will try to see what I can do. Okay, so let me know. And in case you one person alone cannot hear me or cannot hear my language, please let me know. So this is the thing.
Can I?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I came here again. Can I ask for some assistance?
Yes, yeah.
You see, my account is RG Live.
You have to talk to
I
Alex.
was trying.
You have to tell Alex.
Hello?
Yes, Chow, you have to tell Alex. Alex,
Oh, how do I tell him?
Alex
Right,
just now
Chow.
said, put the chat
I
box.
think you need to actually inform your branch that you are using the GLM, the agency code, so they're able to rectify that you are coming in for this training as GLM agents. Yeah.
You see, I indicated to them, but when she told me to change the name, I logged out for so long. I tried to change, I couldn't get. I'm trying to look for the meeting ID number only I can log on, so that whether can I help or
Chow, yeah, yeah, you agree. The way is actually you can log in and log out with your other's name. Otherwise, then if it's too much a hazard and quite difficult for you to actually change at the moment, then perhaps that reminder to change it in future. But for the time being, you just have to just let your marketers know in order not to drag further on this session.
okay,
So thank you very
okay.
much, Chow.
I'm,
All right.
I'm sorry about that. I asked her,
All right.
she asked
Okay.
me,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Can.
asked her, she asked me to change,
All right,
so
okay.
I couldn't change. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sorry, Sharon, you carry on. Yeah.
Sorry,
No
I'm
problem.
very-
No problem. It's okay. I think it's better that you write to your branch, whoever your account manager is, and they can adjust it for you, lah. Because the here is not going to help. All right. So I think that's the best way to do. All right, Sham. All right. Let them know that you logged in, and they will know what to do. Okay. All right. Okay. So good morning to 300 over of my participants. Welcome. I hope we have a good session. I hope we have a good time learning things. You see, now actually looking at the situation in our country, also liability is becoming very important, especially for businesses. Why liability is important is you see, there are a lot of people that always keep on suing each other, even our politicians, right? They sue for defamation, they sue for libel, so much of things are going on. So it's always good to know liability. And good to actually, if possible, especially businesses, SMEs, small businesses, and all, public liability is very important. So you should recommend to them, right? So that's why it's good that you're here today, and we can go through 4 liability classes we're going to go through. If you're joining the both morning and afternoon session, morning session, we're going to look at product liability and professional indemnity. Afternoon, we are going to look at public liability, which is very, very common nowadays. A lot of businesses, they do buy public liability. If you recommend to them, if they know, they understand, they will, the tendencies that they will buy. And also, we are going to look at comprehensive general liability because there is a difference between these two products if you're attending the afternoon session as well. So it'd be good if you can attend all the 2 sessions because then you will have 8 hours of CPD, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. Okay, all right. So without much ado, I'm going to start. If you have anything, please put it in the chat box, please. All right, thank you so much. All right, now let's look at what are the learning outcomes. So what are you going to go back with? I don't want you to go back empty-handed. I can talk and talk and talk and talk. If you go back empty-handed, it doesn't satisfy me as a trainer. I won't be satisfied. And I don't want you to waste your time either, okay? So I want to be satisfied as well at the end of the day that you have learned something and you are able to sell this or promote this to customers, or at least advise your customers accordingly. Yeah, so that is important, all right? So at the end of this morning session, you have to identify and understand the scope of cover of liability insurance classes, which is product liability and professional indemnity. First and foremost, we need to know who needs to buy product liability and who needs to buy professional indemnity. So I'll be going through that. Okay, all right. Okay. Now, what are our course outlines for this morning? All right. First and foremost, you should be able to, okay, I don't expect you to learn 100% by just listening to me for 4 hours. But the idea is you get an idea and then you must start using this, you must start presenting this to your clients. As you keep on doing every day, as you keep on doing this, if you keep on presenting this, doing more and more of this, you become more expert in it. So you have to practice, okay? So don't just attend the course for the CPD hours. I know CPD hours are important, but that is not the main reason why we should be attending CPD. We should also be attending CPD to learn and to implement it. Okay, all right. So at the end of the day, understand and explain the main purpose of liability insurance. Why people need to buy liability, why your customer needs to buy liability, why liability insurance is so important. And then because I'm looking at 2 products in the morning, which is product liability and professional liability, we will look at the scope of cover. The coverage is different. So what is this? Although, yes, we are covering third parties. We are not covering the first party. We are covering the third party, right? But you still need to know the scope of cover. What are the exclusions? What we don't cover? Okay, it's a little bit of terms and conditions. And also how claims arise in liability insurance. So this will be the basic things we'll be covering. Okay, and then there are some extensions for certain lines of business, certain liability classes. There are certain extensions. Like offhand, like professional indemnity, you can extend to cover liability and standards. So these little extensions I will tell you as well. And then we will discuss a bit of case study on liability insurance. I'll share 1 or 2 things that go on in this industry, 1 or 2 types of cases that we have claims on. So you can probably use that as use that to give your clients an idea why they need to buy, what happens in this industry. Okay, so basically that is what we're going to be covering. All right. Okay. Now, why is liability insurance related to loss? First and foremost, you must know that anybody who wants to make a claim for liability must initiate it through a lawyer, must go to court, right? Unless we injure somebody, the person writes to the company and the company says, yes, we are liable, we will settle it out of court, no problem. Okay, but most of the time, if there are things that the customer is claiming for and the insurer wants to look further into it before they agree to pay, the third party, this is the third party, not your insured, the third party will normally initiate a claim against our insured. Just like a motor accident, no? Very simple. Okay, just to simplify it. In a motor accident, if you knock into a third party, let's say a pedestrian or a motorcyclist or whoever he is, what the third party has to do is the third party will write to your insurer, which is GEGM, to make a claim for his bodily injury, to make his claim for bodily injury through your insurer under our policyholder's policy. So liability is always a third party claim. It's not our policyholder making a claim. It's a third party making a claim against our policyholder. So it will always have to go to court because you and I cannot decide how much to pay or what to pay. For example, if let's say someone took the wrong product, your insured is the manufacturer of, let's say, it's so common, right? Like in China and all, we have this problem, milk product. Let's say you insure a company that is manufacturing milk product, and then they manufacture the milk product, and the product is consumed by a third party. So once the third party the baby consumed, China, we had a lot of problem with milk powders, right? Then the baby consumes the milk powder and is injured or is OKU or CP paralyzed or whatever. They will make a claim against our insured, whom we sell the product liability to, right? So they will have to get a lawyer, and that's why it's related to law. The claim has to come through the court. Okay, it can be done without court, provided, okay, I tell you, hi, okay, since Chow was talking just now, hi Chow, you hurt me, so my leg broke, can you pay me so much? So if if Chow's insurer agree to pay, it can be settled out of court. Otherwise, I have to go to court and initiate the cost, how much they have to pay. So that's why liability insurance is always related to loss. What duty of care we owe to other people. And if we do not exercise the duty of care, okay, injuring someone, causing damage to someone's property, then they will make a liability claim against us. Okay, example, if a person breaks the contract, then liability insurance will require the insured to pay for losses suffered by the third party. So this is an example, like I told you, when you sell a product that does not cause harm to the third party and the product's liability, right? When it causes harm, the person will say you have broken the contract, you have breached the contract, you have not given them a product that's suitable, so they will sue you. So that is a product liability claim. Correct. Recently in Malaysia, so we have had, right? Like, a few years ago, if I'm not wrong, we had airbag problem with Honda Civic. So the airbag actually, instead of protecting the driver of the car who bought the Honda, injured them. So they will make a liability claim because what product you sell to them did not meet the need by instead injured them. So liability is always for third-party bodily injury or third-party property damage. You damage someone's property, you hurt somebody, bodily injury, third-party liability policy will cover. All liability policies same. So whether we're looking at the 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, all liability policies, what do they compensate for? Third-party bodily injury and property damage. All right. So the main criteria is there must be negligence. That means my policyholder or GGM's policyholder owes a duty of care to other people, neighbor, surrounding, whoever, did not exercise the duty of care. So because of that is called negligence, it's under the law of tort. Then liability insurance will compensate the insured to pay for losses suffered by the third party. Example, a simple one, a very, very simple one. I like to make it simple so you understand. I don't want to bring all these complicated cases. If let's say you have a fierce dog at home, your dog runs out the gate and bites somebody. All right? That somebody, the third party, that person whom your dog bites, will sue you, right? And that is the liability claim because you have failed to exercise care by preventing your dog from attacking a third party. So you become liable. So that's why third party claims are always liability claims. Okay, all right. Okay. What is liability insurance? This is not first party and not your policy. We pay on behalf of our policy holder to the third party. Okay, normally like fire, all race and all, our insurer claim against us, isn't it? If his house catch fire, if his building catch fire, if his factory catch fire, they claim against us. We pay. Under all risk policy, you know, we cover fire, theft, burglary. So if anything happens to our insured's property, they will claim against us. But that is not liability. Liability is not our insured claim against us. Of course, we pay on behalf of our insured, but the third party will claim from us. So it's known as third party insurance. Okay. Now, third party insurance protects the liability of our insured for the damage which the insured causes to third parties. So even we, as intermediaries, if we do the wrong thing and we cause damage to, something that the customer cannot claim or the customer, we are responsible. So they will claim against us. So we protect our insured, but we pay to the third party. Okay, so the third party is not someone who's our insured, it's a third party. It can be anybody, you know, it can be anybody, anyone on the road. Our neighbor, our whoever consume our product, anybody. That's why liability is slightly different. Now, okay, so that's a little bit about life. All four classes are the same. For all four classes that I'm going to talk about today, liability is the same. The criteria is the same. Our insured over duty of care did not exercise the duty of care. So, because he did not exercise the duty of care, he has to compensate. And who compensate? We as the insurer will compensate. So when we actually select the risk to get GEGM to cover them, we have to look at certain things. We have to be careful when we are actually deciding to insure the risk. Don't worry, you have got a good batch of underwriters who will look at the risk and decide how much to charge, whether to provide cover or not. Some risks, more claims can come in. More easy to hurt third party. Some risks, slightly different. So that's why we have to determine the level of risk as well. Okay. Of course, as our intermediaries, I'm referring to myself as GGM today. Today I'm GGM. You, our intermediaries, are our partners in business. You are not outsider, no. You are a partner in business to GGM. Then you are the first line underwriters, meaning you are the first person who looks at the risk before it comes to GEGM, right? So you are the first line. So we expect you to do a bit of wetting through before you send it to your accounts manager or your underwriter, because your accounts manager also later has to go to the underwriter, right? So just if you want fast quotations, you want response to be fast, you also must act professional and give the details of the risk as accurate as possible. Okay, so that's why you come for CPD, right? That's why, like I told you, CPD is not just about the 4 hours that you're going to get. It's also about the knowledge that I'm going to acquire. Right? And I want you to take something back, please. When you take something back, only I'll be satisfied. All right, okay. Now, before I go into the product line itself, I just want to tell you about the normal, the 6 principles of insurance. You would have covered this. This is applicable to all classes of insurance, not just liability insurance. So, like any other general insurance products, okay, this general principles must be applicable. So when we select the client, we choose the client, we make sure that these principles are there. So the first one is insurable. So I'm going to go through this very quickly, because I don't have the luxury of time to go through it very detailed. But in case if you want to know more, you can always get GGM to maybe talk to you, or you can get your account manager, or you can just have another training, whatever. Okay, first and foremost, whoever buys the policy from us must be liable to the third parties. Only in that way he can insure. Like for example, if you're talking about professional indemnity, okay, let's say there's a doctor. He approaches you and he said, randomly, I just call some names that I can remember that were appearing. The 300 over names, I can't remember all. So don't get offended with me if I randomly say your name, but you are definitely here. So randomly, I will just call out any name. Okay. So for example, let's say we talk Alfred. Alfred signed in very early. So if let's say someone approaches, a doctor approaches Alfred and say, Alfred, I want to buy a professional indemnity policy to protect in case I give the wrong medicine to my customer, to my patient, or I do the wrong surgery. You know, nowadays so common, remove the wrong leg, remove the wrong hand, everything, all kinds of things. So first and foremost, Alfred needs to do is he must make sure that this person who wants to buy the professional indemnity policy is actually a qualified doctor. And he is liable to his patients. When he sees the patients, he's responsible. So he must have insurable interest. Only then. Yes, who's talking? Who's talking? Lim Li Chen, anything? Can you please mute yourself? Unless you got a question, okay? Okay, those of you who are unmuted, the 300 over people here, please mute yourself. Unless you want to talk to me, just say, excuse me, Sharon, can I ask you a question? You don't have to address formal or no need, just say Sharon. Just call me Sharon or two, okay? All right, so there must be insurable interest. And the proposal form, if there's a proposal form, it must be properly completed. Remember this morning when Alex was briefing your product disclosure sheet? According to Bank Negara guidelines, every product has got a product disclosure sheet, right? Make sure we as insurers, you are now GEGM, I'm also GEGM today, you know. We as insurers or we as intermediaries must make sure we tell the truth about the product to our customer. Because if we don't tell the truth about the product, we simply sell, then what will happen? We breach atmospheric fee. We can be liable. You don't think only GGM is liable. If you do things that GGM never give you authority to do, you will be liable. No? So you make sure you exercise good faith. And then number 3 is proximate costs. Whenever there's a claim, your customer call you and tells you, let me say Silva Kumar is here, right? So Silva Kumar, your insured cause damage to my property or insure cost bodily injury to me. So what you have to do, Silva Kumar, is make sure that the customer who wants to make a claim against your policyholder has the right policy. He has purchased the policy. So that's why we're covering the products, right? So the cost of the loss must be covered under the policy. You determine before you go and call your account manager, your claims guy, submit all the documents or check first. Check the policy. Is the cost of loss covered under the policy? Okay. And then, of course, when we compensate, we base on indemnity. For liability, the problem with liability policies is you and I cannot determine the liability. We cannot determine how much to pay. But the maximum we will pay is according to the limit of indemnity in the policy. If the court says, okay, you have to pay 1.5 million to this person. The liability claim is very expensive, right? But the policy sum insured is only 1 million. We only pay 1 million. That's our indemnity. The balance, 500,000, the customer. So that's why when you're recommending this product to the client, make sure they choose a good limit. Use previous cases and show them how much they must buy. Not just buy small sum assured. It won't be enough because when they go to court, if the court gives a award more than the amount that the policy's limit is, we only pay up to the policies. Our indemnity is only up to the policy limit. So you must tell the client that if the court makes a bigger award than the policy limit, they will have to bear the cost themselves. This one happen a lot of times. I have a lot of agents, not from GGM or from other companies, who come to me as a friend and ask me, how the customer very angry we are not paying the full amount. Of course we can't, because it's based on the sum insured that they choose, right? We only pay up to that amount. Okay, and then of course the subrogation contribution, that one we don't worry too much about it. If there are third parties involved, we might claim from the third parties who are liable for the loss as well. We have a right to claim, that's contribution. Subrogation, once we have paid the claim on behalf of our client, and if we find out there's another third party involved, we will subrogate against the third party. So these are basically the 6 main principles of insurance, which are applicable to all classes of insurance. So these are always remember when you're selling any product, life or general also does not matter. The 6 principles are very important. Of course, in life, we don't have indemnity, we pay the sum assured. That's slightly different. So life, you got insurable interest, you got utmost good faith, you got proximate costs. Of course, life, you die, we pay lah. How you die, we don't care lah. Because that's why life companies during COVID lost a lot of money, right? Some people died, right? Okay. So, but for general insurance, we got all this. Because general insurance got limit, some insurance, there's the maximum we are liable for. Okay. And if we pay on your behalf and someone else is liable, we will recover from it. Because nobody can make money out of insurance. Insurance is not about making money. Okay. So subrogation, you got to. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of this. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Now, liability insurance, like I said, must go to court. Look at our news. Every other day, if you look at our news, oh my God, it's all about court case here, court case there, court case there. Everywhere is a court case going on, right? Everybody's suing each other for different things. All right. So what we insurers cover, we will take care. So one thing is very important in liability insurance: our insured must be negligent. What is negligent? Make a mistake. By doing a mistake, by doing something wrong, you cause third-party bodily injury or property damage. Then we become liable on behalf of our insured. Okay, so negligence. So what is negligence? The definition of negligence. You don't really need to memorize all this, but it's good to know because sometimes your customer will ask you, so what is negligence? You see, customers are also becoming more and more smart, and their expectations are also getting higher and higher, guys. If their expectations are getting higher and higher, they will ask us questions. We must be able to answer. If they cannot answer, they don't trust us. So we must make sure we are able to answer. So if your customer asks you, hey, you said liability insurance cover negligence, what is negligence? So the negligence is the omission, that means you don't do something that a reasonable and prudent person will do. Okay? Or you do something that a prudent and reasonable person will not do. Remember this one I gave you this story about my dog run out of the gate and bite someone? That means I'm not careful, right? I didn't lock the dog up, or I didn't chain the dog up or whatever, right? So I actually failed to do the right thing. Because I failed to do the right thing, I'm negligent. So I'm liable to the third party. Okay, so I hope you all understand. I hope I'm not going too fast or too slow. Please let me know. If there's any issue you have to let me know. If you don't let me know, I don't know, Okay, I assume everything is okay. All right? Okay. Now, how do we test whether our insured has been negligent or not? Okay. The test is objective. A person is not judged by what he considers reasonable, but what a reasonable person would or would do in a particular circumstances. So you ask yourself this question. When you drive your car on the road, how do you drive? You drive, follow the road laws. When it's a red light, you stop, right? Although there's a number of times when there's a red light, I also guilty as charged. Cannot, right? You must stop, right? Okay, orange means what? We know orange means get ready to stop, but sometimes we speed, right? Okay. So that is what we say. You will be liable if you don't do something that's reasonable. Right? So that is what the test is. A person with the right frame of mind. Orange light, get ready to stop lah. Red light, stop, right? Green light, only go lah. Number of times what we do. Orange light also we go, right? Then cause accident, then we become liable. That's why so many cases when you see on the road, beat this right, la, beat that right, la. Sometimes, even it's very sad, is sometimes people even die. Third party die. So very sad, but it happens. So that's objective of negligence. So if our insured is negligent, didn't do something that he's supposed to do, or reasonable person, we become liable to the third party. Okay, a person who is negligent does not have his mind fixed upon doing a particular act, for what he does is inadvertent. A man who acts intentionally, on the other hand, knows what he's doing and the consequences. So sometimes we don't pay the claim, or we said, we tell our insured, sorry, we cannot protect you, you have to pay from your own pocket, because you know if you beat the red light, you will kill someone, isn't it? You purposely do, then we don't pay. But if you accidentally, insurance is about accident, right? If you accidentally do, then we'll consider paying the claim. So I hope you understand that, because sometimes your customer will ask, no, how do you consider negligence? Okay, in order for the third party, okay, if you tell a third party what is negligence, define negligence, this is what the third party who wants to make a claim against your policyholder must prove before he can make a claim. Number one, plaintiff is the third party. The person who's injured, the person who falls sick, the person who took the wrong product or consumed the product and became sick or whatever. I'll tell you as I go to the product classes. He must make sure, he must prove that our insured, who is the defendant, is defending himself, is protecting himself, is it? So the plaintiff is the third party. He must prove that our defendant owe a duty of care. So I'm using the simple example of the fierce dog, because that's the easiest to remember. All right. If I have a fierce dog, I must make sure I chain it up or I lock it up. I don't leave the gate open for it to go and bite people, right? Or attack people, right? So I am the defendant. The policyholder is the defendant. We must exercise the duty of care. So that person, the third party, is known as the plaintiff who wants to make a claim against us. He must prove that I owe a duty of care and I did not exercise the duty of care. Number one. Number two, I breach my duty. Instead of chaining the dog, instead of locking it up, instead of keeping it open, I left it open. So I have broken the duty of care. I'm the defendant, your insurer. So because I did that, the third party, who's the plaintiff, he suffered because of my negligence. Actually suffered, not remotely suffered, actually suffered. Sometimes we have seen a lot of cases in the paper. So I like to use real life example cases, where you have seen cases, right? The dog bit the child and killed the child. So the dog didn't bite the parent, but bit the child. So the parent will make a claim, right? Because the parent has been remotely affected. So he has a right to make a claim under the policy for the injury to his child. So that is liability insurance. So when you sell this product, this is what you must tell people. You owe duty of care. Sometimes it's not intentional, It can happen accidentally as well. Okay, all right. So that is the most important thing. Okay. So what are the components of the insurance policy? I'm only just I cannot go through in detail the policy. I just go through the key points. Okay, operative clause. Every policy, whether it's this morning we talk about products liability and professional indemnity. Every policy got different operative clause. Product liability policy will say, if you want to make a claim for damage caused by the product to you, bodily injury or property damage, you must suffer. By consuming the product, by using the product, you must suffer third-party bodily injury or property damage. So quick one, example, slimming tablets. Okay, some people like especially not only women lah, nowadays men also, they like to look slim and all, they take slimming products. And they take a lot of slimming products, then their kidney gets affected, their liver gets affected. And if they were not warned, they took too much, then they can claim from the manufacturer of the slimming tablets. It has happened a number of times. Okay, so that is the first thing of the operative clause. Under professional indemnity, the operative clause different, every policy different. That's why you got so many policies. The professional indemnity operative clause will say the professional can be a doctor, can be a lawyer, can be an architect, can be an engineer, can be an accountant. All these are professionals. When they give the wrong advice or they do the wrong thing, they are professionally negligent. Then remember just now I told you that you know the difference between plaintiff and defendant now. I'm going to use the same words, Yes. Liu Chin Chin, can I help you? Anything? Can you unmute and talk to me? Do you want to talk to me? You raise your hand. Yes. What's the problem? You got a question? Or you can put it in the chat box and look at it later. Can you put it in the chat box, please? Liu, you wanted to say something? What is I don't see anything in the chat box.
Hi, I want to know for product liability.
Mm.
So in what terms product liability cannot be claimed?
Product liability, as long as, listen carefully, as long as the person who suffered bodily injury or property damage, I'll give you examples shortly, has used your product, has consumed your product, has used your product, as a result of which he got either bodily injury or property damage, he can claim. So I'm going to give you two examples for bodily injury. Very good product liability claim for bodily injury is they consume. The most common case I've seen is slimming tablets. Okay, they take a slimming tablets. Sometimes they overtake, and the manufacturer doesn't put a limit. So when they take too much of slimming tablets, they either get liver problems or they get kidney problems. Then they can sue, they consume. They must use the product first. They must prove. Okay. All right. Secondly is, okay, I use something in Malaysia. Of course, Mazda also has this problem, very common. Remember at one time, Honda Civic, the airbag, the car Honda Civic airbag got problem, right? There was one case where this lady, she was driving the car. She hit a Mercedes, slight injury only, but because the airbag was faulty, the airbag killed her. Airbag is supposed to save you, right? So the airbag killed her. So she got bodily injury because of using the product, the car, right? So she can claim from Honda. That's why at one time Honda Civic called back a few years ago, called back all the cars to change the airbag. So there must be a defect in the product. If there's a defect in the product, the person has suffered. So the person can make a claim. Does that answer your question? They must use the product.
Can I quote
They must-
example? Sorry.
Ah.
Can I quote an example for F&B manufacturing company? If let's say
Mm.
the consumer use the product, if found the
Yes.
defect is from the manufacturer, so it cannot be claimed.
Why cannot? Why cannot?
Okay.
And actually product liability, I tell you, product liability, manufacturer, retailer, supplier, all liable. You know why NG in that case they cannot claim? Because this manufacturer, when they deliver the product to the supplier in this case, right? The person that you consume from,
Mm-hmm.
the retailer, they already signed agreement. They got agreement with the retailer to say, once I hand over the product to you, I'm not liable. Cannot claim against the manufacturer. Then the retailer become responsible. They claim sale, but against the retailer now, the supplier. That's why when we sell product liability, we must know, sometimes we always think, go to manufacturer, go to manufacturer. No, manufacturers are very smart now. Example like NG, I'm the manufacturer. You are my retailer. So I manufacture product and then I sell the product to you. You buy already, Now, if I don't sign this agreement with you, as my retailer, and you do something to the product is in your control, what? So you can change anything in the product, right? And then comes our friend third party, consume the product and suffer. Whose fault? Your fault or my fault now? Retailer or manufacturer now? You understand, Angie, what I'm trying to say? So now, Angie, it has become your problem because you have done something to the product, right? So that's why sometimes the manufacturers are smart. When they pass the product to the retailer, they got agreement when, that once you take the product from me already, you are responsible. You must check, make sure the agreement, if there's agreement like that, then manufacturer will not be sued. Retailer will be sued. Sometimes distributor also can die, So it depends on the contract. That's why, NG, in your case, the one that you share with me, that person is not able to claim against the manufacturer, but must claim against the retailer who supply the product. Depend on the agreement. Yes, happens. You get what I'm trying to tell you, Angie? Do you understand? Angie, are you clear?
Okay. But still in doubt.
In doubt
There's
of
no point to approach go for, if let's say, okay, the claim will be due directly with the retailer.
yes.
So if like this, I have to ask the manufacturer to ask for their retailer to buy the liability, public liability.
Yes, if they have that agreement. If there's been an agreement signed between the manufacturer and the retailers to say, once I hand over the product to you, you are responsible. Yes. Got agreement like that one, got. Yes. That's why when we talk about product liability, we say you don't only sell to manufacturer, You can sell to a retailer also must buy, supplier also must buy, distributor also might be required to buy.
Yeah, okay, can I disturb? Yeah, say example, if, okay, the retailer did not add on anything, it is original things that it happened. Though the time of delivery, a manufacturer did say it's not their liability. If we have not changed anything, any ingredient, by right, it still can sue the manufacturer, isn't it?
Can, but it's now provided I as the retailer can prove that the main cause of the loss has got nothing to do, it's come from the manufacturer. Difficult to prove, must prove. Can prove.
Difficult to prove. Sharon, it's
Yes.
difficult to prove. It's difficult to prove
It's
saying they consume this product. That's why many companies try to escape the liability.
Yeah, by transferring it, by signing the contract.
You see, like Singapore, Singapore company very good, Singapore government. They are force all the manufacturer. They are forcing all the car driver buy the liability insurance. Malaysians must learn from them.
Yeah. No, that one is third party body. I mean, for third party, right?
Yeah, the car
We
insurance.
don't. Ours is not compulsory. Singapore is compulsory. Yes.
Compulsory.
That is because the negligence of the driver, Yes.
Yeah.
So it depends. It depends, You must understand. That's why, as far as when we talk about product liability insurance, people always think product liability only manufacturer. No. Product liability manufacturers nowadays very smart now. When they pass the goods to because it leaves their premises ready, sometimes they got no control, like for example, let's say, okay, I use a simple example. Let's say a can drink. Okay, I manufacture can drink and then I pass to my retailer. Okay, so my retailer, when they keep the can drink with them, they didn't keep properly. So maybe got rat urine or whatever, like whatever. Then when people consume that canned drink, you know like what rat urine can do, right? So how can you blame the manufacturer for it? Cannot, why? It's the retailer now, right? So that's why it will depend, So you can actually sell products liability to manufacturer, retailer, distributor also can. There have been claims before against any one of them. That is product liability. Sometimes we always think product liability, only manufacturer, only we don't. It depends on the agreement signed between the manufacturer, the retailer, the distributor. Could be anybody's fault, Could be anybody's fault, right? So make sure they buy correctly. So when you go to the retailer and say, hey, you are selling a lot of drinks, canned drinks, and you're a retailer, please make sure you buy. In case anything happens and due to people consume the product, you can be liable. No? And it's no longer in the custody and control of the manufacturer. So how can you hold the manufacturer liable? You must hold the retailer liable. Okay? Think about it and think about it. And then you can come back to me afterwards. So no problem. If you're still not very doubtful. Okay. So that is the operative clause. All right. Then comes the definition section. The definition part of the policy will define the important words like who's plaintiff, who is defendant, and what is the injury, what is bodily injury, what is property damage, the definitions. I'm sorry I can't explain the whole policy to you because I'm talking about so many products, but that's the definition. You can have a look at the policy. Okay. Then, of course, the exclusions. Not every policy can cover everything. Then we bankrupt our stop kedai. So there'll be a long list of exclusions that we don't cover. So the exclusions will be listed in the policy. You have to look at the policy because it's your job, right? Under Bank Negara requirements to do product disclosure, right? I think Alex told you all this morning, right? That's why you attend CPG training. Okay, so tell the customer, and then when there is a third party claim, 1% insured. This one, let's see. Let's say, Angie, your question just now. I am the retailer. Going back to your question, Angie, just now. I'm the retailer. I know that when someone consumed the product from me, he got bodily injury. Example, my job, I shouldn't wait for the person to go to the insurance company to make a claim. My job, you tell your insured, if you know that there's going to be a claim coming, you must inform insurance company immediately. They cannot keep quiet, no, and wait for the third party to come to GGM. We must always remind the insured. You must inform insurer immediately so that insurer can take the necessary precautions. So what must we as insurer do? Now, do I as a GGM wait for the lawyer to write me a letter to make a claim? Preferably no. If you know that definitely the claim will come, you as agent, you remember you're a business partner, you're not our agent, you're our business partner. You must inform GEGM, your marketeer or whoever you are reporting to, there is a possibility a claim could come in. So we as insurer must be prepared for it. If possible, it's better to write to the client and ask them, do they want to make a claim? Because once they go to get a lawyer, it will go to court. Extra expenses. If you can negotiate and settle better. So if you know, you must always tell your client, if you know of any possibility of a claim coming, don't wait until the lawyer's notice come or the third party come. Talk to us. We will handle it from the beginning. Okay. All right. So these are things that are required to be done. It's stated in the policy. What the insurer must do, what the insurer must do. It's all stated, but I'm just simplifying it for you all and giving you all it. All right. Okay. Now, insurance policy is a contract, of course, we all know. Contract between us and our policyholder, right? Okay. In any contract, party to the contracts, whether it's the insurer or the insurer, two parties, we have a duty. We must comply in order to benefit or enjoy the terms of the contract. So if I'm the insured, I must take care not to cause unnecessary intentional property damage and third-party bodily injury property damage, right? So I must make sure I do that. So we as the policyholder, as the insurer, must make sure we honor whatever comes up in the contract. Okay, all right. So there are obligations imposed on the insured, what they must do. And if they do not comply with these obligations and terms, then we can forfeit the rights. The exclusions, remember? You don't intentionally do things. If you accidentally do, yes, insurer will be liable. If you intentionally do things and cause third-party bodily injury property damage, policy does not cover. It just like, when we say, oh, PA policy don't cover suicide. Suicide is intentional, right? That's why we don't cover. But if the guy accidentally falls from the window and die, we pay, right? That is accident. So even liability also cannot be intentionally buy policy and then create the scenario so that there can be a claim. Must tell the client very clearly. Exclusions are very important. Okay, all right. So that is a general overview of liability insurance. Okay. Any more questions before I move on into the products by itself? Anybody? Angie? Okay, Angie. And then I think Chong, some of you were asking me. Anyone got any other questions? Please ask before I move on. General liability questions. Okay. All okay? Good. If you have doubt, please let me know. If you're okay, then please at least give me an emoji. Then I know, okay, I can move on. Lim, okay? Lim Chong Beng, okay, all right, okay. Lee Xiu Ching, okay, all right, I'm okay. So if you're anything not clear, please answer. It's okay. As far as I'm concerned, thank you so much, guys, for all the salutations, okay? You see, at the end of the day, I just don't want to talk, and then nobody understands me. No, that's not my intention. Okay, yes, risk management, you raise your hand. Anything, can I help you? Okay. You're right. Selvi, okay? Okay, Selvi Gopal, okay. Michelle, okay. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, then I'll move on. Because we were limited time also, we've got two products to cover. Okay. I'll give you a short tea break shortly. I'm still early, wait, about 10:45, I guess, because we finish at 1, so 10:45 to be back. Now, just hold on for a while. Let me start with professional indemnity, Okay. Now, this is for professionals. Who are professionals? Doctors, lawyers, engineers. Now, you agents, don't take it lightly, because I know we will say, oh, I'm not professional, only broker professional. No, you cannot behave like that. We owe a duty of care to our customers. When I say we, I mean you, me, and GGM. Today I'm GGM, right? So we all owe a duty of care to our customers. And we must make sure we give the right advice. Remember when Alex started this morning, product disclosure sheet? I'm glad he brought that up. Okay. Because according to Bank Negara regulations, the regulation means must follow, we must have a product disclosure sheet. Now, I'm sure you all have seen a product disclosure sheet. If you haven't, today, what you can do in the evening tonight, you go to Google, you put GGM, you click professional indemnity, you will see the product disclosure sheet in there. Open the product disclosure sheet and read. You see, whenever we want to learn, I've been in this industry for so many years, I'm still learning, to tell you the truth. Okay. In order to learn better, we need to look at things. I can tell you the whole day about a product disclosure sheet, but it's nothing like you go and open the product disclosure sheet and see what is stated there. What is covered, what is not covered, what is the benefit, what they can, how they make a claim. Everything will be there, So just have a look at Any product, every product, according to Bank Negara, every product must have product disclosure sheet, right? So, of course, today we are on liability. So, go and look at liability product disclosure sheet. Google it. Go on the GGN, open the product disclosure sheet. You will understand it better and you will not forget. Because when you look at things, you remember better, you don't forget. Okay? All right. So, okay. So, now let's look at... that is okay. You asked about exclusion of products. Okay, every insurer got their own product liability policy. There are some things that are excluded because very high, like actually slimming tablets are one of the worst. You remember many years ago, I don't know, like maybe you all are much younger than me. Remember Puah Chukan, the Singaporean guy Chong, you should know him very well. Okay, Puah Chukan's sister-in-law had a liver failure because of slimming tablets. Remember? I don't know whether you all remember or not. Like maybe you all are not even around at that time. Because a few years ago, and she sued. What the case? Against the manufacturer of the slimming tablets. Because slimming tablets, when you consume too much, they will normally cause liver failure, liver problem. So she had to do a liver transplant. Okay. So because she had liver failure due to consuming too much. In vitamins also, do you know that consuming too much vitamins is also no good? You should only consume the appropriate amount. It can cause liver failure. Vitamin also same. So don't go and simply over, especially during the pandemic, everybody want to eat vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. You consume too much, cause liver failure because of chemicals. So be careful when you consume vitamins. But the worst product I can think of is slimming tablets. I mean, that's product. Let's talk about profession. The worst kind of profession that always gets sued for negligence is who? Gynecologists, paramedics. Paramedics are doctors who deal with children. Because gynecologists, they get sued is because during delivery time, a lot of complications can arise. Women is more sensitive, right? So many women during delivery have died. Babies have died. And sometimes there could be a small negligence of the gynae. Gynaes have got sued, no? I know one case, at that time my sister was working as a midwife in Gleneagles. There was this Chinese lady. She was due for delivery. She went in. Okay, so her gynae told her that you have to take the baby out. I cannot wait anymore. Sometimes they have got said, I'm not a gynae, I just tell you. This is a real case. So what she did was she said, no, wait. I will come back. Let me go and normal women, they want to have a proper shower, eat proper food. After confinement, cannot what? So she went back. She came back in the evening. When she came back in the evening, the specialist, the specialist went back. Yes, I'm hearing something from someone. Yes. Can you mute your mic, please, if you're not talking to me? I'm hearing a voice. Okay. You see, when you don't mute your mic, you're not only a distraction to me, distraction to the whole class. So unless you talk to me, please mute your mic. For today, IBIB. No, that's joking. All right. Okay, so this story, so this lady went back in the evening. And the gynae already gone back. This specialist, all like that, they'll go back. She was admitted for delivery. Both the mother and the baby died. The baby was first child baby boy. Chinese lady, So can you imagine? People who go to Gleneagles are not poor people, they have a lot of money, right? So they sued Gleneagles. You know how much is the claim? 5 million. Settle out of court. Gleneagles want to save reputation. Don't want to go for court. Settle out of court. Paid 5 million. Medical malpractice. Because my sister was working there at that time as a midwife. That's why I know the story. A lot of these cases happen which we don't see, because like these big hospitals and all, they don't like to become a public issue, reputation not good. That was many years ago, now I do. But that's the problem with gynae. Gynae always gonna sue one professional indemnity. Not small amount, big amount, settle out of court. That's a real case. That's a real case of professional indemnity. So whenever we sell medical malpractice, that's why just now someone said why got exclusions, right? Because when we sell medical malpractice, we know the incident of cases. So sometimes your policy, you check first, what are the exclusions? Every company got different. So you look at your policy. What are the exclusions? Don't sell to those professions. If you really need to important client, you go and talk to your underwriter. Don't simply say yes, because when we simply say yes, we are exposing the company to something and then it's an exclusion. Then you get into more issues, right? So please check the policy. That's why just now I quickly went through the policy because I want you all to know what is covered and what is that. All that is important. Okay. If PI cover settle out of court scenario, like what you say, yes. Or insurer will pay if they are insured. Settle out of court also we pay what? We save lah because we don't have to pay legal fees and all. Legal fees also quite high. Sometimes we prefer to settle out of court. But if settle out of court, so we pay. If we covered, it is covered under a policy, maybe settle. A lot of cases we settle out of court. A lot. Because you know why this big, especially like big hospitals like this, they also want to save their reputation. So they don't want to publish. Unless our policies say we don't cover, it's exclusion. And then we don't pay. Then the customer has to pay themselves. That's why exclusions are important. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Thank you. All right, so okay. Under professional indemnity, what's the scope of cover? We pay for civil liability. The insurer agrees to pay on behalf. So your question just now, before I can even read, you usually ask me, we pay on behalf of the insured all sum which our insured, in this case, this Gleneagles, like they're insured with us. I did say they're insured with GGM. I just used an example. Shall become liable, including claimant's cost. What is claimant's cost? Yes, liability, yes, Chua. On liability cases, okay, actually there are 4 steps, Okay. There are some cases where, example, our insured tell us that this person might make a claim. We can talk. We can negotiate. Kalau boleh lah. Then we separate. Sometimes we cannot talk because, you see, for example, let's say I break my leg. And let's say, since Bong is on the line, Bong break his leg. When we go to court, what the court give me is different from what the court give Bong, you see. We all cannot decide how much to give, so go to court. That's why liability cases all go to court. But actually, if we can settle before it go to court, better, cheaper for us. Because once it go to court, we must pay for our insurance policyholders' legal costs. We must also pay the third party's legal costs, because kita orang salah, our insured salah. So we have to pay claimant's costs. We have to pay our client's legal fees. We have to pay the third party legal fees. Not cheap, Sometimes postpone. We also must pay court expenses. You think what? File court in court cheap? No. Got court charges got everything, whenever, how many days the case postponed. Every day got court charges. Filing a court case is not cheap, So that's why kalau boleh, we prefer to settle out of court. But usually very difficult now, it's complicated. Like that case that I was talking about, the Gleneagles one, they did settle out of court. Because Gleneagles also don't want to go to court. So negotiate. Negotiate and get it settled. Okay? Because there's so much other costs we need to pay for liability. That's the problem. Okay. As a result of any claim first made against the insured during the period of insurance. So we as insurers will be liable for our insured's legal fees, the claimant's legal fees, and whatever award the court makes. And court charges, costs and expenses. All we bear, If you want to call witness, Also, we pay for the cost of it. First, we must get the court's approval to bring the witness to court, and then we must pay. All we have to pay, not cheap, huh? That's why we prefer to settle out of court. That's why I say, what must the insured do? We must educate our insured. If you suspect or somebody want to make claim, let us know fast lah. Don't wait until you go to court. Go to court, and then let's say if insurer don't pay, got exclusion. The whole paper they'll publish. Insurer refused to pay the claim. Actually, it's not our fault. People don't understand, you see. It happens so many times, right? We become the bad person. Pay too much also cannot, pay too little also cannot, everything got problem. So that's why we prefer if we can settle out. Like liability cases, settle out for better. Faster the better. Not easy. Okay. All right. So we have to pay for this defense costs and expenses is our insured's legal fees. And like I said, you court witness, you testify, all those costs, all we must pay when, But the amount that we are liable, limit of liability. If they buy 3 million, we only pay up to 3 million. If the court give more than 3 million, the insurer have to pay himself. There's no average here. Don't go to start using the formula of average. Liability got no formula of average. Don't go say, oh, court say 5 million. Our sum insured 3 million. So we only pay 2.5. No. It doesn't work like that. Our limit is up to the limit of indemnity in the policy. Anything above that, there's no average in liability policies. The insured will have to pay. Okay. This is not property insurance. Different, no. You must know. You better tell the client that. You must tell the client that we only cover up to the limit of liability. If the court gives a bigger award than that, you are liable yourself. Okay. All right. So we pay the defense costs and expenses, means legal costs and expenses that are incurred by our insured. Of course, our insured, we must approve the lawyer and all we appoint, right? They must give all the writ and summonses to us. They cannot suka-suka go and appoint somebody. So must get the written consent of the insurer. They must send all the, so you must tell your client, if ever you receive any writs and summonses, please give everything to GGM. Okay, so we will pay for all that. All that will be covered under the claims costs. Okay, of course, insurance own costs and expenses, we don't pay. Any policy also we don't pay. To submit the documents to us and all that one we don't cover. Legal costs and all. Okay, all right. So that is for the fees. Then employee. Now let's say you want to appoint let's say you want to write Sunway Medical Center. You want to give a medical malpractice policy to Sunway Medical Center. So the thing is, you must remember, you are covering all the doctors and lawyers and whoever has got authority there. So it's not just, owner is Jeffrey, so Jeffrey is very good. Owner, all the senior doctors are all very good, really no need to, no, cannot. You must, every employee is covered. Okay, or let's say you say, okay, we want to cover the CVS. CVS in Central, cardiovascular disease specialists are all there. All the specialists join together and open that CVS. But don't forget, they are specialists good. What about the people who work under them are also covered, no? So you must also look at who their employees are. Maybe they don't have enough experience. Can cause professional negligence, right? Okay. So employee means the person other than the partner or principal or director insured who is or has been under contract of service or apprenticeship, or is hired or borrowed by the insured, or under any work experience or similar scheme while employed or engaged by and under the control of the insured in the professional business venture. So whether it's a legal firm, whether it's a medical clinic, or whether it's a hospital, you must get a list of all the people working there. Last time I like to use many years ago. I've been in this industry I've been teaching for 25 years. So I use so many old examples. Sorry, a bit old myself. Thousand apologies. Okay. I used to use Kapal Singh. Last time Kapal Singh got legal firm. So I say, okay lah. Kapal Singh comes to you and say, I want to insure my legal firm. Okay lah. We all know Kapal Singh very good, no problem, right? But don't forget, he also got other lawyers working there. They are not as good as Kapal Singh, right? So you must find out who because they are all covered by the policy. Okay, clear? Please make sure not just the person. Okay, definitions of profile. Okay, so guys, remember when you're writing, if anyone approach you, whichever professional liability, whether it's accounting firm, whether it's accounting firms also get sued, right? When they do the wrong thing. Remember the 1MDB case? I'm sure you all read papers, right? Remember 1MDB case? The accounting firm, was it KPMG? One of the legal firms that signed the documents for 1MDB. Not accurate, because there was a corruption case. They were sued, They were asked to pay by the court how many million as compared for doing the wrong thing. So if insurer pay lah. 1MDB case. That's why it's a legal case in Malaysia. So common, that's so many. So the lawyers, yes, dear.
I
Yes,
got
Angie.
questions. How to advise to customer for cover with the it means that insured with the correct amount. It's full insured, it's not under insured.
How? That's a very, very good question, Angie. Look at previous cases. But we cannot decide for them. You know why? We never know what is. Okay, like this you can give them some examples of cases that have happened before, but you cannot decide the amount for them. Can never be correct. Like sometimes the employer's liability, employees sue employer. Some got big amount, some got small amounts. We can only tell them the amount can be big depending on because we also don't know what contracts they are signing, you see, based on how big the contract that they are signing with their customers. If it's a hospital, who are their patients? What type of patients are they seeing? Is it 5-star hospital like Sunway? Or is it a 6-star hospital like Gleneagles? Or is it a 3-star hospital? I don't know. I'm just saying, like Columbia Asia or whatever. Then depend on the category. Then they have to decide. They know better. We cannot. Limit of liability, NG, we cannot decide for them. They have to decide. Because we don't know who their customers are, right? But you must tell them that if you are underinsured, we only pay up to the limit. Balance, you have to pay yourself. So they have to know themselves who their customers are and how much they should insure. Okay? We cannot advise for them. Actually, any class of insurance, we as intermediary or insurer, we don't decide on sum insured. Because if we give them the wrong sum insured, and when there's a claim and it's underinsured, they'll blame us. Any class also what? Property also we don't, right? Cars also now we use ISM. Why? Because if we give the wrong advice and there's a claim and it's underinsured, they'll blame us for it. So better don't. Ask them, Angie, you ask them, what is the biggest case you have seen so far? Go for the biggest. Does that answer your question, Angie? Are you okay?
Should be all right, but mostly my client will ask me how much to be insured.
Okay,
So,
if your client asks you for liability, how much to insure, you ask your client, what is the biggest case they have in their books? Go on the biggest sum. So later, tomorrow afternoon, when I cover public liability, I'll give you examples of how we calculate this, how we advise. We cannot calculate now, we cannot determine, we can only advise them. They must choose. Because if we give the wrong figure, And then later when they make claim, yes, correct. They like to take low figure because it's cheap, no? Public liability lah. But professional indemnity, 1 million tak cukup lah. Definitely tak cukup. The cases are very big. At least I've seen some companies like 1.5, 2 million, not so big lah. Professional indemnity, I know sometimes they want to save money. You're right. You're right by saying that one, they take 1 million because it's cheapest one. But that's why you cannot decide for them. It's better you ask them to decide. Then when there's a claim, we don't get into trouble. Okay. All right. Then circumstances for professional indemnity means any facts or circumstances which is likely to lead to a claim for professional indemnity. So you should know lah which profession, like lawyer is wrong legal. Yes, limb on what case? Limb on which type of case are you talking? There's so many types of liability. Professional indemnity, I just gave you one just now on Glen Eagles, 5 million. 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, very common, especially big hospitals that are 6 stars, 7 star, the limits are higher, because the people who go there are the high class people, niche people. Sorry, I have to use these terms. When they go there, they got money. They are not interested in small amount, they will sue big amount. So it depends which hospital also. I know Glen Eagles, one of the cases was 5 million. Some children, paramedics, paramedics, where they give medicine to children, a child cannot tell you what's wrong, right? So sometimes as paramedics, these pediatricians, not paramedics, sorry, pediatricians, they will actually decide what medicine to give. The child cannot tell what, right? I got stomachache, I got this. Maybe they can tell. So when they give the wrong medicine, then cannot. There was one case many, many years ago, this one government. Then then apply buy according to the color. The hospital must make sure if they are seeing customers with a limit of up to 5 million, then they better have a policy that cover 5 million. That's why I say we don't know. The hospital, the whoever is buying the policy must know the insurance. They tell us how much they want. You and I cannot decide. They decide. Yeah, nowadays limits are very high also. What to do? Medical cost is so expensive. So they have to buy higher limit. The worst is gynae and pediatricians. These two categories always gonna sue. Okay. All right. Okay. So circumstances, we look at what type of cases the hospital is handling. What is one DR? What does DR stand for? Hello. Oh, sue more than one doctor. Is it? Yeah, yes, yes. If there's more than one doctor involved, like maybe the pharmacist give the wrong medicine, then the doctor handle the case wrongly. Pharmacist give wrong, then two people, then sue both. So it depends on your pharmacist. So it depends which hospital. There was one case many, many years ago. This is government hospital in Sentul. Okay. In Sentul, this boy, he had fever. Small boy. Still child. I'm talking about pediatricians. So this child went to GH government clinic to get fever medicine. The pharmacist gave adult medicine. Penrol syrup. Gave that. So the mother brought the child back and every 4 hours must give, she gave overdose. The child died, overdose. Went back to the hospital, they put him on the machine because overdose already, brain affected already. Then he died. I don't know how much they got for that case, but they did. They say they want to sue. I don't know. Government not easy to sue, Malaysia. The boy died because the Panadol syrup. No. anybody's limb or medicine, doctor will prescribe, will give the slip. Pharmacist give the medicine, what? They collect my medicine from government hospital. Pharmacist give. Doctor will write the prescription, then go to the pharmacy, the medicine counter, and then collect. That's a pharmacist. Yes. I collect my medicine from the pharmacist because I had my thyroid surgery done. So I went to GH to do my thyroid surgery. Yeah? So I'm still on medication under GH. Many years already lah. I go to the pharmacist is pharmacy give medicine. My doctor see me and prescribe only. What's the dosage to take? Yes, where got doctor give medicine? That's why clinics nowadays, sometimes you see what the doctor do clinic. The doctor will write the medicine, then the nurse pack the medicine ready. The doctor want to see the medicine before they give, right? Because they're scared the nurse will give the wrong one, you know. Have you realized that? Are you observant enough to realize that or not? Insurance people must be very observant, and then only you learn all these things. You try next time you go to clinic, normal GP, you collect medicine, doctor give, right? Then the nurse will pack, right? To give to you. See whether your doctor check or not. A lot of clinics, I realize the doctors will check first before the nurse give. The nurse is considered as a pharmacist lah. Does that answer your question? That's how it works. So at the end of the day, just now your question, two people, Chong asked me that question. Sorry, sometimes I just can't remember. Yes. Yes, that's a normal practice, correct. Yes, correct. Brilliance can't GP practice that because they want to be careful. If not, they will get sued lah, the PI. Give wrong medicine, wrong dosage, wrong medicine. Everything they will kena. Okay. All right. Then that is circumstances. Claims means any written demand of civil procedures, cross claim, counter claim. That means how they make the claim. Sometimes they go to court, sometimes they come direct. Claim can come anyhow. All these written, sometimes they will just write to the insurer and say, you have to pay me this amount. Sometimes they go to court. Like I said, sometimes there are cases that don't go to court as well. As long as insurer agree lah, then pay. If not go to court lah, then you will have your writ of summons lah. Whatever your insured receive, he cannot handle he cannot go and appoint lawyer all by himself. Must send back to insurance company. Your job to bring back and give to your marketeer or claims department, whichever your arrangement is. Okay, so this normally claim will be made by third party against the insured for compensation or non-monetary civil relief arising out of any actual or alleged breach of professional business. So you must know who are the professionals, who are the class, and please read exclusion. Some policies don't cover certain professionals, you know. So you please read before you sell. Don't sell the wrong thing. You breach utmost good faith. Then you can be held liable. They go to court, insurance company will kena. And you as an agent also will have to tanggung. So please be careful. Okay. All right. Insured means each of the following. Any firm, company, or partnership specified the schedule, insured's name. Any partners, principals, and so remember I said it's not just the company like just now. I just randomly use example Kapal Singh and Co. It's also all the junior lawyers, also got a lot of lawyers, right? All the people, and anybody who is attached to the company, all right, and employees. All these people are considered as insured, not just the main person, you know. So always remember that. So it doesn't mean only like, for example, if you say, okay, Gleneagles, only the directors. No. The directors, whoever's working there, including all the employees, including the pharmacists, like if wrong medicine also kita tanggung. So it's big, you know, it's not small, you know, it's a big amount you're looking, okay? Also, the estate as legal representative is like, you know, just like I told you the case, Gleneagles, the wife passed away, the child passed away, right? Who become the legal representative? The husband. So we are liable to pay to the husband. And what happens if the doctor who actually did the treatment passed away? The doctor is no longer there, right? So you cannot sue the doctor, right? The wife become responsible, the legal representative. If the person who did the job already gone, doesn't mean you escape, they will sue the wife or the legal representative. So we become liable, the legal representative. After this, we got DNO afternoon. I'll tell you one real case I had with DNO on this amount, where the legal representative become responsible. One real case. Again, I share with you some real cases. I also don't know every real case. I try to give you, if you have anything, you can also share. If you know of any case you want to highlight, it's okay. Because like I told you, when I do training, I also learn, Okay. All right. Professional business means professional services performed by the insured as stated in the schedule. So professional can be doctor, lawyer, architect, engineer, whatever professional. Okay. Right. Okay. General scope of cover, the insurer will pay on behalf of the insured, which is our policyholder, all loss resulting from the claim when insured for civil liability arising from an insured's professional service. So they will claim for negligence, and it's actually for this award. Remember just now you asked me, Angie, about the sum insured. This award is also what level? Whether, example, doctor is the easiest, like use example. Specialists, some insurance must be higher. Specialist clinic, specialist hospital must be higher, Normal GP is lower. Because the court will normally base on their level of expertise.
Excuse me, Ms. Karam.
Yes.
Is there any statutory limit for this
No.
compensation?
No, liability got no statutory limit.
Thank you.
Motor only got statutory limit for liability. Motor got property damage 3 million, bodily injury also unlimited. Whatever the court say, pay. No. Sorry, thank you so much, Chow, for the question. No. Liability got, but you must remember one thing. Thank you, Chow, for the question since you highlight. Now, according to brokers, some professional, even Bar Council, MMA, Medical Profession Council, before their license is renewed, before their license can be renewed, they must buy professional indemnity insurance. Must buy. Doctors is for MMA, Medical Association of Malaysia. They are under MMA. Professional, Bar Council is for lawyers. Our brokers are under Bank Negara. Now, for them to every year when they renew their license, it is statutory requirement. They must buy PI. That one got limit. I too got limit. Like brokers, I think if I'm not wrong, it's 600,000. Got that one got. Professional bodyguard. So before they renew your license, they require you to buy PI. And that one got statutory. But normal, like whoever wants to buy, let's say I'm a doctor and I want to buy, no.
Thank you.
Based on the type of customers. And teach out for asking that question. Thank you that you highlighted. Okay, because sometimes I need you all to ask this kind of questions because then I can share with the rest, which is good. Sometimes I just cannot remember everything to share, right? So you all help me out. Thank you so much. Okay, now civil liability is liability. Yes, Peng, can I help you, Peng Lai Huat? Anything? Oh, you have lowered your hand. If you have any questions,
sorry,
please.
just talking about brokers that they having a PI. I'm not trying to promote, but in our General Insurance Agent Association, we recently launched a PI for our agents.
Yes.
So those who
I got a case law on that, but I can't remember the case law now. It's very good. Okay, in that case law, I can't remember the case law, but you know what happened? This was a transportation company. They asked the agent, this is a real case, maybe 2 years ago, they asked the agent, that's why I think GGM is doing good by asking you all to buy that, this client is a transport company, he asked the agent to fill up the proposal. He gave all the answers to the agent, but the agent filled up wrongly. When the agent filled up wrongly, It's a transportation company. I think it's against commercial unions. So let me see if I can recall now. I can't remember many years ago. It's actually under the principle of utmost good faith. So when the client make the claim, because breach of utmost good faith, the insurer reject the claim. But the customer said, it's not my fault. I've given all the answers to the agent fill up properly. And in your agreement with the insurance company, is it stated that you're supposed to fill up the proposal form? No, right?
Yeah.
So that means when you fill up the proposal form, you are filling up on your own will, then you can ask. That's why GGM actually, GGM very good now, they have that. You all better buy. Happened before, there's a
But
case law.
GGM policy, I think, is only I'm not sure whether the group life actually arranged is only applicable for their life agent only.
For life agent. I don't know.
Not general.
Not
Not
general.
general. I
But
think
I don't know,
because they
but
take a master policy lah. But anyway, for our association Pewakim, we have got a master policy, so all agents can sign up. Yeah, Berjaya is the insurer. Yes. I just signed up mine last month.
Thank you, Miss. I think maybe GGM can enlighten us. If I'm not mistaken, when this policy was originally launched, it was meant to cover GE Life and general insurance only. Only
Yes.
to
Yeah,
cover
that's what I heard.
that means our marketing for general insurance is also covered by GGM. Am I right?
I don't
That
know.
one
I
we
don't know.
need
I'm
to
not from
check
GGM, sorry.
further, yeah. You
Yeah,
can always
I'm from
check with
GGM.
your marketer on this source.
Maybe Alex can ask us, or maybe any company executive like Mr. Ngai or anybody can help us on this at this moment point of time.
Chow, I think the best method to get a speedy response, you could actually check with a marketer and then immediately you can check with the respective stakeholder and come back to you. It's a good question anyway. Yeah, thank you for
Okay,
sharing with
thank
us, Chow.
you.
As far as I know, GGM PI for life agent is also applicable to the general insurance if they are doing it. Because they are doing both life, but only the full-time general insurance, no, if they have no connection with life.
Thank you very much, Ping, for your wonderful contribution. So let's come back to this
Thank you.
liability classes. Yeah.
Sure,
All right. Yeah. All right.
Because
Thank you
they
very
want
much.
professional, suddenly they ask me whether got mandatory limit or not. No, only for license renewal. I don't know agent. Agent, I'm not commenting. I'm talking about broker. I'm talking about counselor. I'm talking about medical profession. Yes, for them to renew their license, they must have a mandatory PI. Sorry, the one got limit. The one I don't. Okay, so the agents one, I am not sure. So like what Alex says, a good idea. Maybe you all can check out. But it's good, actually to have it. Okay. All right. So basically, now civil liability means not criminal liability. You can't kill somebody and expect insurance company to pay. This is all civil liability. Okay. Tort negligence. You breach contract, like when you go to the clinic and you fill up that card and sign as a patient, you already form a contract. And statutory law. Statutory law is where I talk about just now, Bar Council. Medical, this one, all if you want to renew your license, you must have your PI one. So that's why that's a requirement. Okay. So professional services underwritten must be specified in the policy service. So if you're insuring, whichever insured you're insuring, please mention what are their professional services. So we pay according to what their professional services are. And then again, or they don't cover if you're only doing GS. So you must do both life and general. Is it? That one I don't know. The one you all please go and find out. Because I am not GE stuff. I won't comment on that. But I know they had something like that, but I don't know. I know whether it's like for general. Okay, now it's 10:50. We'll take a short toilet break and tea break. And can I see you all back at 11:05? I give you a 15-minute break. Is that enough?
Thank you.
Okay, so go, you must go toilet, cannot tahan kidney problem, then lagi problem. I don't want to be responsible, Go toilet, go and have a cup of coffee or something, come back by 11:05. Okay? Thank you so much, Alex, for typing it in the group so that everybody knows. Suddenly they come back and say, where is everybody missing? Okay. Go 11:05. I see you at 11. Like that. Okay. So the GG one, you'll check it out. Lah. What is the arrangement I do? You'll check it out. Okay. With your, I think your marketeer should be able to assist you all on that. Okay. I'm not able to assist, sorry, because I'm not from GGM. Of course, today I represent GGM, but I cannot I cannot advise on the coverage. Check it out. Which is a good question, Alicia. Okay, let's start. Okay, who is covered under the policy? Of course, the firm and company as a legal entity, and if they are subsidiaries, because like, they got branches, subsidiaries, clinics, outside and all that. So all will be covered under one. Okay. All right. Okay. Then we also cover past or present. Who can buy professional insurance? Any professional can buy professional insurance. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects, as long as they are certified as professionals, they can buy professional insurance. Does that answer your question? Someone asked a question just now. I saw it in the chat box. Okay, because sometimes the question disappears very fast. Yes, as long as you are a professional, certified professional. Yes. Sport association in public liability, if they are certified as professional association, yes. Like FAM should be able to, but I don't think we want to sell to those kind of associations. They're very difficult to control. Angie, you do a lot of, actually it looks like you do a lot of professional GGM agent, yes, what? We just spoke, right? Where you give the wrong advice, you can be under, actually, that court case is under principle of utmost good faith. Where, you see, you agents, you all sign a contract with your principal. The contract will say what you can do, what you cannot do. There's no way in the contract it's stated that you can fill up the proposal form for your client. But as a service, as a goodwill, you do it. Okay, never mind. You check the one. I'm not sure. Siu Heng, I don't know. You check. You check with your company policy. Then someone said Berjaya Sempur says, for under which association? Your agency or association, right? You have to check the one.
Pewakim.
Pewakim sells.
If they are doing only general insurance, then because Pewakim has arranged with Berjaya, we have a master policy for all our members.
So
if you are a member of Pewakim, you can sign up.
So guys,
I signed up already last month.
That's good.
So that means you must be a member of Pewakim.
Yes, of course, because the policy is under master policy of Pewakim.
Good. Finally, okay, good. I didn't know. Okay, thank you.
You can contact me, no problem.
Okay.
I'm the national vice president of Pewakim.
Oh, you're the vice president of Pewakim.
National vice president, yeah.
That's good. That's good. Good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can put your contact in the chat box because everybody wants your contact. Just put it there. Just put it there for them to see. They can take it down. They can call you. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. So you can buy. So that's good, But of course, not under, I don't know, GEGM and all that, but it's under. So it's okay, if you're a member of the association, yes. That's why I say, if the association is a professional association, yes, you can. They should have, like what Pewakim has. So it sells for all the agents. Okay, right. Okay. And then also past or present future directors, partners or principals who have, sometimes the partners have left, but they have done something that, I think liability, 7 years, the claim can come up any time, right? So that's why we also cover past and future. Okay, employees, I already explained to you just now. I don't think I need to explain that one more time. And then also sometimes if the person who, let's say I'm a gynae, I did the mistake, the patient died, so they sue me. But after some time, thanks, Peng Lai Hua, the number is there, you all can take the number down, okay? It's in the chat box now, so you all can take it down. Or never mind, towards the end of the session also, he can give the number to you all again. Thank you, Peng. Okay, and then let's say I already left, or sorry, I already passed away. So the third party can actually take a claim against the person who's no more there. So then the legal representative will become responsible. Could be the spouse sometimes. They can become responsible for the actions of their spouse. So that's why the policy will also cover the legal representatives. So you must let your client know, because nowadays, especially after this pandemic, so many people just get heart attack, diabetes, and all kinds of sicknesses. So it's good to have this kind of policy in place in case so many heart attack cases and all now, right? So you can sell. This is a selling ground for you all, something to tell your clients where you can encourage them to buy. Okay, that what happens if you're no longer here and your wife becomes responsible for the third party action? At least for insurance policy, you know that the wife is taken care of. If you don't have a policy, then who's going to take care of it, right? So this is another way in which you can encourage your clients to buy that. Okay. All right. Now, so all these, the professional indemnity policy can extend to cover contractors and consultants. Professionals, they must be, of course, professionals. They must have the professional qualifications. Dishonesty of employees, which can result in professional indemnity. I was just looking at news while I was, during the break, I just saw one news. I was shocked. You know what is the news? They have arrested about 16 to 20 people. They are lawyers. The doctor is a Dato Seri. For what? Taking birth certificate. The clinic is run by a Dato Seri who gives false, foreigners, mostly foreign children, false birth certificate. False birth notification, and there's the government servant involved as well. Just now only the news came under MACC. Okay, so they create false birth certificates. And the government servant, they pay the government servant, according to news, 18,000. All right, dishonesty of employees. Government servant also. Okay. Intellectual property rights, breach of intellectual property rights, things that you can do, but you are not supposed to use, but you use. Okay, like colors. Color also is property rights, intellectual property rights. Okay, joint venture liability. When you joint venture mergers, acquisitions, you can also acquire liability rights. You can also extend. These are all extensions. This one is not automatically covered. When you actually write in your proposal form and submit your documents, please ask for whatever extension they want. Then I cannot decide. Let the underwriter decide. The underwriter will look at the whole case and then decide whether they give order. Liable or slender. For professional indemnity, especially broadcasting papers and all that, there is usually a high chance of liable and slender. Libel is writing something that's not right about a person, like papers and all that. Slender is saying something that's not right. So if someone sues you for libel and slender, if you got a PI policy, can extend to cover, which is very common in Malaysia now, right? I think Teresa Kong, Hannah Yo, then us also got some people, right? All being sued for libel and slender. Malaysia has become very famous for all these now. Last time don't have, After the 1MDB case, oh my God, our politicians are more into legal than other people are. So you learn a lot from that. Actually, that's why I like to read all this news. Even you all, when you all look at news, if it relates to anything that has got something to do with insurance, read it. That's how you learn. This is just now when I was during the break. I was just looking at the news. Then I saw MACC NEP 16 to 20 people. I think one of them that to Siri for forgery of childbirth certificate. After 60 days, no, they register these are mostly, I think, foreign children, that maybe local parents want to adopt or what, I don't know. I didn't read the whole article, I just read the gist of the news because talking about liability, right? So I said, why these people got sued in court, including a lawyer and lawyers. Lawyers are professional, wrong advice, doing the wrong thing. Many such cases. So libel and slander is saying and writing, which is so very common. Okay, and then loss of documents can extend to cover. Of course, these are all professional documents. Newly created or acquired entity. That means, like for example, GGM is already there. Then remember last time you all acquired Tahan? There's a new entity, right? So you also want to cover the new entity, right? Also can extend to cover. All these are extensions. So before you get the underwriter to approve your policy, please ask the client what of these, any of these extensions if they want. Your underwriter will be in a better picture to decide whether to give or not. And then also official investigation and inquiry costs and expenses. Just now we say we cover, right? Legal costs and all that. So if there's needs to be an investigation done into the matter, do we pay for the investigation costs? All these extensions. This is not standard cover, and these are all extensions. And then also there's another thing about reputation protection expenses. So reputation can come in many ways. Like remember I was talking about Gleneagles this morning. Sometimes they don't like you to go to the papers, don't like to be published in the papers, don't like people to read about it to protect their reputation. So that's why they prefer to settle it out of court and all those things. So this might incur additional costs. So if the customer said yes, in case we are faced with any situation like that, we want to settle out of cost to protect our reputation. So you put this extension, reputation protection expense. Okay, so all these extensions, of course, the wording is not here. You must go and read the wording, or you talk to your underwriter. Simple. I just give you the overview. Okay. All right. Then we have also more extensions. Okay, so let me look at dishonesty of employees extension. Okay, insurer will pay on behalf of the insured all sums which the insured shall become legally liable to pay as damages due to the dishonesty of the employees. Okay. In respect of any claim first made against the insured and reported to the insurer during the period of insurance brought about or contributed to. So the claim must be made during the policy period. Dishonest, fraudulent, criminal or malicious act of the employee. So sometimes it's not the boss that's doing that, or the employees who can do it. So this one, if the employee dishonestly does that, they can claim if they extend to cover dishonesty of employees. That's the wording. Yeah? However, this exclusion will exclude dishonest, fraudulent, criminal, or malicious of any partner, principal, or director. Only employee is covered. Partner is not employee. Principal is the owner, not employee. Director is not employee. Only the dishonesty of the employee will be covered. I think this is a good extension to give because the number of cases sometimes nowadays where employees, okay, like actually if you talk about all this is or dishonesty that's committed by this.
Hello,
Yes.
excuse me.
Yes. Yes.
For the just now the page.
Which one? In front.
In front.
Yes. Yes.
You see, they say the extension is covered by dishonor, fraudulent, criminal act of any employee. Then they say, however, this extension excludes. Really confusing.
Okay. I get you.
Don't
Okay,
understand.
when you say exclude means only employee, these people are excluded. They are not considered as employee. The partner, the principal's owner, and director is not considered as employee. Employee must be your staff.
Why? Because normally, like a lawyer firm, not lawyer firm, a doctor buy a professional indemnity insurance.
The one is different. The one is covered under the professional indemnity. This one is extension.
This is professional indemnity, ma.
Yeah, but this is dishonest, fraudulent, criminal or malicious act. Under professional indemnity, we are only covering civil liability, Remember that? Remember I told you if you go and murder someone or kill someone, we don't cover. Policy don't cover criminal liability.
But an employee kill someone can cover.
No. If the employee do it intentionally, dishonestly.
Then can claim.
And but you must have this extension. Dishonesty of employee extension you must buy.
Or a criminal, the employee kill somebody can claim. But the doctor kill somebody cannot claim.
Cannot. Under professional indemnity memang tak boleh. Criminal we don't cover, we only cover civil liability. But if the client wants to cover this dishonesty of employee, we cover this by extension. So you want to give or not? It's up to you. If I'm the underwriter, I won't give. It's criminal.
Yeah lah.
This is an extension, this is not a standard cover. Civil liability wrong of the professional is standard cover. This one extension, dishonesty of employees extension.
But normally you don't give lah.
If I miss, I won't give lah. I don't know, it depends on your underwriter I don't think they will. I'm just saying that's why I purposely put in bold so that you take a note of it. Do you want to give? If I don't want to give. Civil liability, yes. But criminal, no.
Another question is many people selling a supplementary in the Facebook. Facebook, you know Facebook.
Supplementary what?
Yeah lah, supplementary food in the Facebook. Then got many people buy.
Food.
What?
Why you buy? I won't buy.
A
lot of people buy then. A lot of people buy. Who they want to claim against?
Yeah lah.
If they cannot claim lah. I never buy, if you look at Facebook, this medicine lah, this treatment lah, that treatment lah, diabetes so can become zero lah. I don't believe.
They become doctor already. Then
I don't believe all that. I never buy.
Themselves, they classify themselves as a doctor.
Cannot.
But nobody control them.
That's the thing. Nobody
This is
control. That's
this
the
a thing,
problem.
yeah, lah, yeah.
So much of freedom.
It's called Malaysia Boleh.
Asia boleh. Don't buy lah. Those kind of things, they're not covered lah. They're not protected lah. Don't go and buy those kind of things. My advice, I never buy this kind of things. You know why I don't buy? Because I never trust. Sometimes you see these people, oh, your joint pain, you put this plaster, okay already.
蕭韶文同你食嘢咩？蕭韶文咪講同你食嘢咩？
Yes, Jamin, you're talking to me or you're talking to someone else? Jamin, Garina, Chong, are you talking to me or someone else? I don't know, you're talking about eating. We are not eating now. Not yet. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. So don't give lah. If there are certain extensions we won't give. You see, if it's a publishing company, they buy professional indemnity for things that they publish wrongly, I won't give libel and slander. Usually, publishing company will want to buy libel and slander. Yes, employee covers employees working daily. That's why I remember just now I said before you decide who you want to insure, you must check and see who their employees are, got experienced nurses and all, pharmacists and all covered. So like just now we said, remember you go GP, let the GP check the medicine first before delivery. Everybody is covered. If we insure the company, then we cover everybody. So we must know who we want to cover and who we don't want to cover. You know, nowadays also, it is very common for some clinics, I'm not saying all, don't get me wrong, don't say lecturers here. Some clinics, actually, they're not supposed to do abortion. They go and do abortion. You know, and if what happens if the patient during abortion dies, we don't cover, we exclude all that. That's why I remember just I told you to read the exclusions in the policy, we don't cover. We will only cover up to what you are allowed to do as a professional according to your professional license. We won't cover anything more than that one. You must read the policy wording. Beyond that, we don't cover. Okay? You see, our industry, insurance, why you're so upset about agents? Because we are controlled by Bank Negara. We are under Bank Negara regulation. The purpose of Bank Negara Financial Services Act 2013, if you read it properly, is to protect the consumer. Who is the consumer? Our client. That's why we are so controlled. Regulations, regulation is law, must follow, So the Financial Services Act 2013 is a regulation, is a law, under which the main intention of that is to protect the consumer. So we cannot simply sell, we cannot mislead, we cannot missell, all that is wrong. So don't grumble if your agents are controlled. It's a good thing that we are controlled. Okay.
But then the platform sellers are not controlled.
What do you mean by banks are not controlled?
No,
They
platform
financial
sellers.
services.
Those platforms.
Facebook platform and all.
Ah.
If you look at insurance companies also, you see, whenever they advertise a product, if you have seen a Facebook, they will always ask you for further details, please contact the insurance company or they will mention one. You go and see Facebook. Always got that that remark, man. Cannot simply buy. They already tell you for further clarification, please contact the insurance company.
Yeah.
Yes, they do that because we under Bank Negara, if we sell anything wrong, we sell wrongly, you agents sell also, the company will cannot, so cannot. Look at Financial Services Act. You go and read the Financial Services Act, you'll understand it. Okay? All right. We move on to intellectual property rights. The insurer agrees to pay on behalf of the insured for claims arising from any infringement of intellectual property rights using infringement of any copyright, trademark, registered, patent, or plagiarism. So that means if Also extension, no standard cover. If we extend to cover intellectual property means like, for example, McDonald's. McDonald's, the cover, the color is a specific yellow and a red, right? If someone else uses the same color, McDonald's will sue under intellectual property. If we extend to cover intellectual property, then we cover we pay. If we don't, we don't. That is interesting. It's not that this is automatically covered. These are all extensions. So we might give, we might not give. Okay, like GEGM cover. Why you think I'm using GEGM template? That is your corporate color. I cannot simply go use some other color, right, for your slides because it's wrong. That's intellectual property, trademark, copyright, rights. Okay. If you want to give, you can give. But of course, companies that have, sometimes insurers will give for companies that have been a long time in the market. But we have to cover breach of intellectual property rights. Okay, then joint venture liability, like remember just now I said sometimes we as insurers also, when we merge, we acquire, right? So if let's say the company says, can you extend to cover my joint venture liability? If I join someone else and there's a liability that arises because of that company, I want to be covered, then you give this extension. These are all extensions, so not standard cover. Then you give that. Okay, so the insurer agrees. If the insurer, this is GEGM, agrees, they will pay on behalf of the insured claims arising from participation in a joint venture in connection with the profit. Same business, must be the same business by the insured. Provided that fee declaration in the proposal includes proportion of fees from the joint venture. So how much are they paying for the joint venture? They must declare to us first. Then we as insurer will decide whether we want to cover it. And if there's any liability that arises from that joint venture, we become liable as insurers. Not necessarily will give, these are all extensions. Then remember, I told you about reputation protection. Sometimes because of reputation protection, we settle out of court. Possible. Or sometimes we pay a fees to the customer to actually pay or get the case settled without the reputation being tarnished. They won't say anything bad about the reputation of the insured. Okay. Now, the insurer agrees to pay on behalf of the insured for any costs and expenses reasonably incurred with prior written consent of the services of a public relation consultant for the sole purpose of protection of the insured's reputation that has been brought to question as a direct result of a claim covered under the policy, provided if the insured wants us to pay for this reputation protection fees using a consultant, they must notify us. They must notify us within 30 days of first being aware of the insured's reputation. Who's talking, please? Are you talking to me? If you're not, please mute. Because when you talk in between, it distracts me, my flow of thoughts, and also the participants. So please mute. If you're talking to me, okay, then no problem. Okay, all right. So must notice, they must let us know if we are covering this reputation protection expenses 30 days before, once they become aware that someone will be tarnishing their reputation. Okay, the insurance total liability is only 50,000 in the aggregate. That means in total, over a period of insurance, we only pay 50,000. Sometimes we put it as additional on the top of the limit of indemnity. Sometimes we include this is the limit of liability. This extension got no excess. So if there's a claim for this, that they want to appoint a consultant to negotiate to protect their reputation, we'll pay up to 50,000. No excess. But also extension. All these extensions are not standard cover. All these extensions. Okay. All right. Breach of confidentiality. The insurer agrees to pay on behalf of the insured in respect of, again, civil liability, not criminal liability, for any alleging breach of confidentiality or misuse of information arising from the performance of the professional business. That means the employee or the partners misuse their misuse the information. Under PDPA confidential information, you're not supposed to disclose it. So if you go and disclose confidential information under PDPA, you can be sued, right? So if they want that protection, then they will have to ask for this extension. Oh, this got additional premium extension. Liable loss lender, I already told you, return or over. Okay, the insurer agrees to pay on behalf of the insured for claims arising from liable loss lender. You know, like if we see this a lot, what now? One person sue another person. So we pay for the cost. And also normally liable and lender, they will ask to withdraw and mention in the papers that what they said is wrong. So we pay for that cost also for liable and lender. Again, it's an extension. It's not a standard cover. It's all an extension. Whether we want to give or not, we have to decide. Okay. All right. Then remember I said sometimes in order to protect our policyholder, we need to call witnesses. Now, before we call the witness to court, we must get judge approval. Must get the judge approval. And if the witness come to court, we must pay them compensation of 150 or 200 per day or something like that. I'm not very sure how much it is. But of course, when someone come and be a witness, must pay. So we can pay for compensation for witness attendance on behalf of our policyholder. Okay, so the insurer agrees to pay on behalf of the insured for the cost of attendance at any court and or adjudication hearing, which is arbitration and all that, by any partner, principal member, director, or employee as a witness. When they come in as witness, we will pay the cost. Customer to take insurance, if you take a loan from them, that has got nothing to do with this. When you take a loan, you buy MRT. Okay, I didn't get your question, sorry. Later you share with me again, later. Okay. All right, claim covered by this policy where such attendance is required by the court arbitrator. So we pay for any witness to go and attend. All right, provided always that such payment limited to 300, I think now it's about 200, 300 per day or per day for each person subject to a total of 10,000 for the whole process. The cover under this extension shall be part of and not in addition to the limit. So we pay additional cost for witness extinction. This one also got no access. We will pay straight away to the person who's coming in as witness to maximum 300 per day. Okay. Now, vicarious liability, sometimes you didn't do it, but because your employee did it, you become vicariously liable, right? So we do cover vicarious liability. Okay, so how much do we cover? Okay. Insurer agrees to indemnify the insured's contractors and consultants as employees, provided that at least 90% of such contractors and consultants' income is derived from the insured. So if the consultants are acting for you and their salary up to 90% is paid by your company, you can cover them for, you can cover your insured for the actions of the contractors and the consultants. Okay, such contractors or consultants are acting under the direct control and supervision of the principal, partner, or director of the insured in accordance with the standard procedures and risk management framework. That means they are not doing anything wrong, they're following the SOPs. Okay, such indemnity is only provided in respect of work performed for the insured and on the behalf for which the insured is liable. So if the insured is liable and your consultants do something wrong, you can claim under this policy for the negligent act of your contractors or consultants. Oh yeah, yes. Must have complaints to take action true. Okay. All right. Tort liability. Tort is negligence. Negligence, okay. Contractual liability under tort. The insurer agrees to pay on behalf of the insured for any claims in respect of contractual liability arising out of the professional business. But this does not cover any liability assumed by the insured under any express warranty, guarantee, representation, hold harmless agreement, indemnity contract, penalty clause, liquidated damages clause, or similar agreement unless such liability would attach in the absence of such express warranty, guarantee, or representation. That means under your CGL, which we are going to cover in the afternoon, we do cover contractual liability. That means any contract you form outside your normal contract. This one we don't cover. So only under CGL we will cover contractual liability. All right. Hold harmless agreement, indemnity contract, penalty clause, all this we don't cover. We don't pay if it's by way of a agreement. Only CGL we cover. Afternoon later when I'm talking about CGL, I'll let you know. Okay, prior known claims or other circumstances, that means before you bought this insurance, that problem has happened. It might arise to a claim. Current policy we won't cover unless you extend to cover. Fraud, dishonesty also, I already told you just now we don't cover. Like just now you asked me, right? Fraud and dishonesty, how can we cover, right? Of employees and all, unless you extend to cover. Claims by related or associated entities, subsidiaries or associated companies not covered unless extend to cover. Fines and penalties. Usually, we don't even give extensions for fines and penalties because fines and penalties is something that they do. So there are liquidated damages, so they must be liable for it. We don't cover. Okay, goods manufactured, we don't cover because that will fall under goods manufactured is under what? Which liability, Angie? Angie, you there? Goods is not under professional, it's under
Public liability.
or products.
Product liability.
Product public. Actually, Angie, when I go to public in the afternoon, I'll tell you, yes, you're right. You're not wrong by saying public. Why, I'll tell you. But under our public liability policy, what we will do is, yes, Peng, thank you, products. Under our public liability policy, we will exclude product liability. Actually can cover in our product under public liability if you don't exclude. Later afternoon when I talk about public liability, I'll tell you how. But if you look at our public liability policy, we will exclude product liability. So you're not wrong, Angie, by saying that. That's why I didn't say wrong. I hold on first. I will explain to you in the afternoon when I cover public liability. While your public liability policy actually can cover product liability. But today you go back and check your public liability policy, it will exclude product liability. And I'll tell you why. Okay. All right. So this one, goods is under product. Thank you, Ben. It's under product. Duties assumed beyond reasonable acceptance. So remember just now I accepted professional. Remember I told you that this clinics, normal clinic, going to do abortion. We won't cover because we always exclude. If that is not something that you're qualified to do, you don't do. You won't be. Okay. And then services performed in areas outside of expertise. You are not a doctor. What you like just now you say lah. Your Facebook, you said all the medical products, food supplement and all. By right, we shouldn't because there's no coverage, for that. You go to buy, you consume, then you got no one to sue. Become another scammer. Now, so many scammers everywhere. Even food supplements, products, you believe Facebook. Don't ever go and buy that. It's not correct one. Sometimes they will tell you, oh, you can buy a phone for so much of money, 100 ringgit. I remember seeing this, what you call it, these people who promote products. They are known as what? What are they known as? They got a name for them, right? What do they call it? Enhance. They do where they promote the product. Okay, they advertise for the product. These people, they will say, oh, handphone, the foldable handphone you can get at 100 ringgit on Facebook. Then you go and When you get the phone, you pay the 100 ringgit. The phone is this phone. Have you come across that before? This is all scammers, you know. So don't ever buy anything like that. Insurance companies, one thing, are very genuine. Even though advertise on influencer, yes, thank you so much. Tengok ada pun apa itu, yes, influencers. Thank you so much. These influencers, they promote on Facebook lah, on handphone lah, on all this, you know. And then when at the end of the day you pay the money, you get the product is only that unusable. So be very careful. A lot of influencers now are scammers also, you know. One thing good about insurance companies, they haven't fall into the category of scammers yet. I don't think insurance companies, I've so far not seen any product that come out as a scam. Life in general, both should be very genuine. Because we are under regulations, we are controlled. We cannot simply sell any product. So whatever you see on Facebook, whatever you see on Instagram and all, please be careful. But one thing, good thing is, yes, they're very dangerous. Yes, Tanis for news. These influencers are very, very. Sometimes I look at them, I couldn't even remember the name. I was so irritated with this. Look at the handphone full of this kind of influencer advertisements, and don't believe this. Okay. That's why so many people have been scammed. Especially money. Insurance, no. I think insurance so far so good. Okay, proud to say we work for an industry that is very sincere. Okay, so those are all the extensions. Now, what are the factors you need to consider? Remember, I say can give, cannot give up to the underwriter. So you as our frontline underwriters also please for professional indemnity, take these factors into consideration. Okay, first and foremost, who is the insured? Don't simply insure any Tom, Dick, and Harry. And no, find out who the insured is. And also, how long have they been in the business? The date that they established the business. Because experience, from that you will know, whether they have got any of these issues or not. Okay? Who are their partners? Who are the principals? Because it's not just the owner, it's also other people who work there. Are their staff all qualified? Okay, must think of that. And then what are the activities? Like just now when I started, I said professional indemnity, the two most cases, gynecologists and pediatricians. These are the two category of medical malpractice most claims come from. Because gynecologists, women are most prone to any of these severe injuries and accidents during this. Our period don't cover pregnancy. Okay. And pediatricians, the children, they are not able to tell you what is their problem. So pediatricians are giving a medication based on their own experience. Of course, there are some very good pediatricians. I'm not saying that they are not good, but that's why we have to look at who the insured is, how long they have been in the business, who are their employees, are their staff qualified, are their partners qualified, okay? What are their activities? What do they do? If you look at medical malpractice, surgery, surgeons, doctors, lawyers, you must look at what they actually do. And then if you're looking at lawyers, what kind of cases are they handling? All right, you must also know. Right? And of course, apart from their expertise and experience. And if you're talking about clinics, you want to give a professional indemnity policy to a doctor, please check all these things first. Okay? All right. Now, remember I told you sometimes the award, remember you all asked me, Angie, you asked me what's the sum insured, is actually based on the client, Who are the clients? The bigger, the richer the clients they have, the bigger the problem they have. Rich people always like to make claims. You realize that? I've seen this throughout my years in insurance. If your clients are your top 5 clients for clients or projects for construction and all, is very big, you get ready to face the damages. So we must be very careful. Okay. And then we have jurisdiction. What is jurisdiction? Where are we covering? Which law are we using? We only want Malaysian law. Of course, Malaysians, we use British law. Liability, what's the law, right? But we must remember, we make sure our jurisdiction is Malaysian. And then our territorial exposure is which countries we can cover. They might have subsidiaries, branches everywhere, right? Usually, we don't cover USA and Canada. Why we don't cover, actually even worldwide, we are not very, very accommodating. Malaysia, okay but worldwide also not so bad. We don't cover USA and Canada because their legal system is different from ours. So we will suddenly get hit by a big claim. That's why we will exclude USA and Canada. We prefer to cover Malaysia. If you ask me, our preference is Malaysia. Don't go outside. We don't know the exposure there. But it depends on your underwriter. Okay. Now, then remember just now I said sometimes we hold our insured is vicariously liable for the mistakes made or the damages made by subcontractors or subconsultants. We better know who is their subcontractor and who are their subcontractors. Sometimes our client is very good. Long time established, qualified, everything good. But what about the subcontractors and the subconsultants? You must also know. Okay. Previous insurance, do they have a policy previously? Have they had claims before? So we must ask. Have this company been sued or taken to court or made a mistake? So we need to know their claims and circumstances. Okay, claims happen. Insurance is about paying claims, but what did they do to make sure that it does not happen again? Whenever we have a claim reported, the first thing we must ask this question: what have you done to make sure it doesn't happen again? So what action has been taken in order to prevent a recurrence? Otherwise, it will happen again, right? So these are the underwriting factors. If you remember, you as our frontliners, you want the quotation fast. Otherwise, competitor will take the business away, right? So if you want the quotation fast, you get yourself prepared with all this information to be given to your marketer or underwriter. Then you will get your quotation fast and you won't have your competitors stealing the business from you. So this is what you must do as our business partner, frontline underwriters. Okay. Now, so that is the underwriting. Any questions on underwriting factors? Or anybody wants to add on anything? Please feel free, no problem. Anything on underwriting factors?
Hi.
Yes, Angie.
I just would like to check with you. Usually, how soon that we can get our quotation after the information been given?
Okay, that one I can't promise you. Okay, first and foremost, you have to ask your marketer, number one. Number two, it depends. How many risks does the underwriter have to look at? Maybe at the time peak period year end, he got a lot of renewals, so it will take a bit longer lah. But if it's like beginning of the year, I don't know, I'm just saying, if the underwriter has got less on his table, then will be faster. But if you want it fast, give all the information.
What I mean, all the information been given and the turnaround time. Is there any turnaround time? There is no turnaround time apply for the GE?
That one I don't know. I'm not from GE, so I don't really.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe
Thank you.
Maybe you can ask your marketing. Which branch are you from, Ellie?
KL.
Oh, you KL, then should be very fast. What? Centralized, man. This one all shows centralized one.
I don't know. Usually the quotation reach me. I already no choice. Have have to source from elsewhere.
Oh,
It
that's right.
happens to me many times.
Yes. Okay, never mind. You can raise this out in your comments box. You can put this in your comment box. You know why? Because at the end of the session, remember when you're doing the polling session, polling that just now Alex was telling you all to do, you all must put it down there. Then it can be brought to the attention of the underwriters.
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise, you have to raise this up. It's a good question. Okay, I cannot promise you because I'm not a GEGM underwriter and I don't work in GEGM, so I don't know.
I
It
see.
also
Thank you.
depends on the number of cases they have on their table.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome, Ellie. Okay, all right. So that is example of so this is just telling you all if you all want it to be faster than normal, get that information fast. I won't say it's 1 day, 2 day. Because some cases are like you talk about medical malpractice, you talk about legal, and all. It's not that easy to get the quotation because sometimes the quotation is not done here. The quotation is from regional, maybe Singapore. So that's why it takes time. This kind of risk, it takes time because it's not like motor or fire, where we straight away get. So Ellie, please understand that position. Okay, we must also understand the position of the underwriters and the class of insurance. I'm sure when you do motor, fire, other classes, you get the quotations very fast, isn't it? So because of the type of business, liability memang is a bit specialized. It's not that easy. Last time when I was working, I was with QBE. QBE do a lot of liability many years ago when I was working. And we used to get from Singapore, sometimes even from Australia, our quotations. It takes time. Not that fast. Okay, so it just did. Sometimes it's not here controlled because of the class of insurance. So please understand. Okay, thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Lee. I think yes. See, all aligned agency, I gave my quotation 3 days. Maybe at the time the underwriter is free. So I cannot comment lah. So depends on the situation, depends on the time of the year, and also depends on the type of risk. Straightforward risk they can give you faster. 3 days is very good. Not around time. 3 days is very good. Very good. So it depends lah. Yeah, that's good actually. Okay. All right. Okay. So it depends. So don't assume that because a line gets it in 3 days, everybody gets it in 3 days. It depends. Type of risk, how much of information you have given to the underwriter, and also what time of the year it is. Okay. Professional indemnity claim examples. Inferior design of building engineer. Building collapse. For accountant, a client relies on accountant's incorrect advice and gets fined by the tax office. Very common this one also. Okay, Ellie, you have to talk to him on private and see how he gets his past. Okay. All right. Then property manager misquotes words at property owners meeting, does not maintain the property maintenance, fails to purchase insurance. So these are just examples of claims that have happened before. Okay. All right. Accountant, negligence in audit work, wrong advice on financial statement, failure, like this is a case of where I told you for 1 MDB, failure to complete deflection, negligent advice to third party. So give wrong advice. So the third party, the insured follow your advice and then get summoned, fine, and all kinds of things. Architects and engineers, errors in plans and specification, wrong advice, negligent supervision work, defective premises and liability. Sometimes you buy a property, you can hear what's going on the next door. That means the architect design is not good, not thick enough. Claims like this come, okay? Insurance brokers, failure to effect cover leading to cannot claim. Brokers normally professional advice or coverage. They give the wrong advice. Does it represent client? Okay. Estate agents and surveyors failure to have plans passed by a local authority, overlooking defects in the property. They don't send the proper documentations for Bandaraya to approve. So then they start construction. Bandaraya come and demolish it. Happened before. Okay. Pharmacies, I gave you already example just now. Negligence in selling or dispensing drugs, giving the wrong drug. And you know, when they remember the boy I told you, the child, where they first and foremost they gave the advanced adult Panadol. Secondly, every 4 hours, negligent advice. All examples of pharmacists. Yes, happened many cases before. So next time you collect medicine, you better check first. Okay. All right. Okay. Claims can be made. Claims made. That means that year, the policy, that year, the thing happened, you make a claim. All right. And it doesn't matter. I don't think they have the time. They have the time to attend to it. Okay. Right. Okay, now claims, there are two types of claims. The policy is issued normally on claims made or claims occurrence. Claims occurrence means you must go back to the policy when it happened. If it happened 10 years ago, you go back to that insurer and claim. Claims made means it doesn't matter when it happened, you can claim on your current policy. So you must know whether your policy is on claims made or claims occurrence to advise the client on which policy he makes the claim. So please read. Okay. All right. So if it's claims, public liability, product recall, and comprehensive general liability is on claims made. That means no need to go back to which year you issued the policy. You can make as long as you got a policy now, you can claim on your current policy. Yeah. Majority of policies, even for public and product liability, mostly on claims made. Because to go back to look at the insurer 10 years ago, it's a bit difficult. So now it's better to have claims made. Occurrence is more expensive as long tail because how many years? Okay, USA-based customers normally request for occurrence, but preferably claims made easier. Once our policy expires, our liability is over if it's on claims made. If it's claims occurrence, 10 years later, the guy can come back and make a claim against the insurer. So we have to look at the pros and cons. Okay. Yes. Yes, Jim. Yes. I can't hear you. Louder a bit, please. Can you speak louder, please? I can't hear you. Or am I too soft? You said something? You asked something? Hello? Who was talking to me just now? Disappeared suddenly.
Sorry, I'm mute and unmute.
Yo, okay now.
Sorry. Can you move back to the previous slide? Thank you.
Previous slide. This one, yes.
Yeah, occurrence more expensive as I don't understand it.
Do you know why occurrence is more expensive? Because occurrence means if let's say my policy is occurrence, I insure this customer 10 years ago. For the next coming future, whenever he got a claim that happened because of this incident, he can come back and claim from me. He can come back to me, and claim from me. That means 10 years that I'm liable to this insured at any time he sees a claim that happened during this period. Let's say that he bought a policy from me in the year 2010. Now it's 2025, right? So he bought a policy from me from 2010, but after that he didn't renew with me. He renewed with someone else. But when he realized in 2025, the cause of the loss, the incident actually happened in 2010. The cause of the loss, so he will come back to me, and make a claim from me, which is 15 years later. So which means I as the insurer cannot close my file. I must keep my file open. You understand? He can come anytime, anytime he can come back and make it. But if it's claims made, means it's different. If it's claims made means if you don't make a claim this year, my policy expire, I'm no longer liable. Easier, no? That's why cheaper.
Okay, thank you.
That's the difference. That's why claims means cheaper. Okay. Right. Now, occurrence basis will be you go back to that. That means many years. You still have to keep your file open now. The customer can come back anytime and make a claim. Okay, so occurrence means you go back to when did the accident which caused the loss occur. Go back to that year and claim from them. So example, water heater exploded and caused bodily injury to A in 2020. A only lodged a claim against the water heater company in 2022. So he cannot claim from the 2022 policy and he must go back to the 2020 policy. So which policy will respond? QBE insure him in 2020. Launchpad insure him in 2021. GEGM insure him in 2022. Which year will he claim? Which insurer will he claim from? Give me an answer quick one, someone. QBE. Thank you, love. So QBE can close the file after 2020, although they're not insuring the insurer, they must keep the file open. So liability claim 7 years. 7 years from the day the person knows about the injury. So A have to go back and claim from QBE. That's why it's more expensive. Okay. All right. Now we look at so it will go back to when the occurrence occurred which caused the loss. Since the loss occurred in 2020, the policy in 2020 will respond to the claim, which is QBE. Thank you so much for your answer just now. We do not care when the claim was lodged. That means he lodged the claim 3 years later, You only know about the incident 3 years later, you still go back to QBE. That's occurrence. Okay, that is why it is long tail. It could be years later and go back to the insurer. That's why it's expensive. I'll come to that. Sorry, paying just a minute. Let retrospective come. That's on claims me. Retrospective is on claims me. I'll come back to that. Okay. All right. Just hold on. Let me finish occurrence first. Okay. Okay. When granting occurrence, we look at the shell life of the product, limitation period. Our country limitation period 7 years. 7 years from the time the person know of the injury. So if he bought in 2020, he came to know of the injury in 2025. He still got 7 years. That means 2025 plus 7 years to make a claim. So long tail. Costs go up, All the years due to inflation and all costs go up, right? So we end up paying more. So we Malaysia 7 years. From the time the customer knows under the Limitation Act. You will look at the Limitation Act, it will tell you. Okay. All right. Now, comes to retrospective period. Just hold on. You asked me the question, right? Okay. I'm going to explain to you. Retrospective period is for a claims made, not for claims occurrence. Okay, so normally if you look at your claim occurrence policy, you have a retroactive date at retrospective period. Okay. Oh dear, that's it. Alvin, you missed the 2 important products. Try to come you. Alvin, why? I'm only doing this once. I'm not coming back. Okay, all right, Alvin. Okay. All right. Anyway, you like your marketing. Okay, so this is for retrospective. Retrospective period only for claims made policy. Occurrence tada. Okay, so I give you an example here. Okay, a policy for claims made 1st January 2022 to 31st December 2022, 1 year. Okay, so any claims that are made in this year, you make from this insurer. But you got a retroactive date of 1st January 2018. So any incident that happened from 2018 until 31st December 2022, you can claim under this policy. So retroactive date is actually retrospective date. Link that answers your question. Okay, so let me give you an example. When was the claim lodged or made with the insurance company? So let's say the claim was made 31st March 2022. Okay, the claim was made against the insured in 2022. Then 2022 policy will represent. Even though the incident happened in 2018, because they got a period until 2018, we will cover in the current policy. That is called a retrospective date, and that is called a claims made policy. If the claim is made in 2021, then the 2022 policy will not respond. The 2021 policy will respond. The 2022 policy will only respond if the claim, although it happened in 2018, was made in 2022. The claim must be made on the current policy. That is claims made wording. Occurrence wording is you go to the policy that when the thing happened, then you claim from occurrence wording. That's the difference. Okay? So error or omission which causes the loss has to have occurred after the retro date. So retro date is 2018. But you don't have to go back to claim 2018 now. You can claim on the current policy as long as your current policy got retrospective date of 2018. Don't have policy, then cannot claim. It's the problem with claims. Must have current policy. If not, cannot claim. Very good question. Yes. Okay. So assuming if the error which was caused the loss was 28 February 2018, then it will be covered by the current policy. Yes, then never you raise your hand. Yes. If you in between you, if let's say you do claims made.
Meaning that what I think is that the insured will continue renewing the policy with PM. That is provided they continue.
Provided they continue already. Then only can claim on the current. Then only can claim on the current. Yes. Claims made, that's the danger. That's the current policy. Cannot go back. Not like occurrence basis. Cannot. And then must have retrospective date. Can go back how many years? Because when you buy the policy, the longer you go back, 3 years, 6 years, the more expensive it is. The premium is normally higher. The longer you go back, the higher it is. Some companies, last time I worked in broking firm, they go back retrospective date to when the company was established, Broking. God. Premium high, but they okay. They go back to when they first started their business, and they can claim under the current policy. I come across. Yes. Yeah. But pay premium is higher. The longer you go back, the premium is higher. Yeah. Okay. When am I covered claims made policy? One question. First made against the insured during policy period. Notified to the insurer must be notified during the current policy period. Okay, and then I already told you, for professional activity, whatever happens must be conducted after the retroactive date. So that's why I told you, brokers, they are very smart now. They put their retroactive date from the date the company was established. So any claim that happened from the date the company was established can claim under the current policy. But if you don't renew your policy, dialogue, no cover. Cannot claim. Must renew policy.
Miss Jared,
Yes, dear.
can I tell you something? Okay,
Yeah,
let's
sure.
say like if the insured are already established for more than 10 years. Okay, and then during this period, they get covered for this professional indemnity, but it involves different insurer. Let's say like from the first year.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, doesn't
If
matter.
it's claims made, you claim from current insurer.
Oh, current insurer have to bear the cost, have to bear all the consequences.
Provided your retroactive date is from the date of establishment. Current.
I see.
But once my policy expire, let's say I'm GGM is the current, once my policy expire already, next year I'm not responsible now. I close my file. I don't need to worry about next year already if I don't renew. The person who renew next year must worry based on the retroactive date.
I see. Okay, thank you.
So that's why insurers would choose claims made of claims. If you ask me, I prefer claims made, less headache. So how many years you want to keep the file open? In Malaysia, we got SOXO. In UK, no soksoma. So in UK, they must buy, compulsory for them to buy employer's liability policy. So if the employee got any problem, can claim. The policy, they must keep, the policy must be kept alive for 40 years. Can you imagine keeping the file open for 40 years? Greece. Thank God we don't have that. That's why I prefer claims made. Once over, then close the file. They say my story, I wash my hands. Let the next insurer bear the cost. So it depends. Okay, underwriter will decide. Okay, all right. Okay, so a quick one, another quick scenario on claims made. Operation of retroactive cover. So policy period 1st January to 31st December 2022. Retroactive date 1st January 2018. Claim lodged in 2022. So you will go to this current insurer, isn't it? So error was done on 28th February 2018. We are covering January 2018 starting from January 2018, right? So this one will fall under your current policy, claims made. Okay. So error omission occurred after the retroactive date because retroactive date starts 1st January. So the mistake is done on 28th February. So it's after the retroactive date, right? So loss occurred and reported during the period of insurance 2022. So claim will now be under this 2022 policy. Exactly what I told you just now. Another example. So I purposely put these simple examples for you. You can go back and read it one more time and digest it a bit more. I'm not expecting you to be sitting down here and listening to me for 4 hours and expecting you to remember everything. You must read again, right? Okay, and use it. Only if you start using it, you will master it. Okay, so operation of retroactive date, another example. Policy period 1st January to 31st, same policy. A retroactive date 1st January 2018, claim lodged 2018. Error done 28th February 2017. No cover. 2017, we are only covering retroactive date 2018, right? So 2017, sorry, I know cover. I wash my hands. Okay, so because the error or omission occurred prior to the retroactive date, which is 1st January 2018. This one happened 2017, all right? So loss occurred reported during the period of insurance, but the claim is not covered under the current policy. That's why just now your question to me just now, you asked, right? If never renew, then no cover. So the retroactive date, that's why I told you just now, the longer you put the retroactive date backwards, the more expensive is the premium. Good lah, more commission, no? Understand? Anyone got any question? Yes, can. If the client is working overseas, but he wants to buy in Malaysia, can, but must inform lah, must declare lah, and must good thing, must tell lah. Can. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So I'm done with professional indemnity. Yes, can. Working out overseas can. Must inform. Okay. Wait, what is this? Okay, this one I already covered with you all just now. This one also covered, some covered. Where did they put my product liability? Okay. All that I covered already just now, so I'm going to product liability. Now, before I go to product liability, guys, the last question asked, thank you very much for asking questions. I like it when you all participate now. Because, yes, Peng, anything you're raising your hand up, can I help you, Peng? Peng, like what? Your hand is up.
Sorry, I forgot to off it just now. Okay, sorry.
Okay, hospitals will normally buy medical malpractice. I saw a question just now. Medical malpractice. Now, let me see what is that question. I had no time to read it. Okay, where is my chat box? I can't find my chat box. But no, sorry. I went to participants. I don't want participants. I want the chat box. Chat box. Where's my chat box? Let me see my chat box. Okay, there's something in the chat box. Wait, hold on. Okay, one of the question is, if the client work overseas, can he buy his professional indemnity? Yes, he can. Okay. Yes, but you must. There's one clause lah. that you must put in. It's called working overseas, overseas clause. There's one clause you include. So that means the client you must inform in the utmost good faith to say that he works overseas, he travels overseas for work and all. Yes. Okay. Got it. Can buy. Okay. Then there's another question by Chia Mei. Usually hospital buy master policy to cover all doctors, right? Yes. Practicing in the hospital or each doctor will get there. No, no, no. Usually if it's a big hospital, they will normally buy, the hospital will buy that's known as medical malpractice insurance, Chiamili, to cover all the doctors. Because remember vicarious liability, if someone sues the hospital, then how? So they will better buy in the hospital rather than doctor. Okay? Yeah, pharmacy also same. If the pharmacy is attached to a particular hospital, then the pharmacy will be covered under the medical malpractice of the hospital. GP will buy their own. GP normally buy their own for cleaning. GPs normally buy their own. They have their own. Okay. Any more questions? I'm now looking at the chat box. Traditional medicine depends. Some policies cover traditional medicines, some don't. Dentist, yes, can buy. Traditional usually depends. Because traditional, you got two types. You got Sinsei, you also got the Ayurvedi, right? So it depends. But most policies, I think, now cover Sinsei. But in government hospital, you don't have Sinsei. Where got Sinsei? No. Sinsei medication, they cover for under medical. More under medical rather than medical malpractice, right? Sinsei a bit susah also, because must be properly certified. Our majority client base is from medical. Because actually, GEGM is quite popular with liability, you see. I can agree with that, yes. Medical industry. Yeah, possible, yes. I can agree with that. That's why they do liability training, for you, I'm saying like afternoon, y'all don't join me. Join me now. We finished the 4 classes. Actually, it was supposed to be done 2 different days. Then I don't know the change of plan, because I think limited time, So never mind, it's okay. You will do this afternoon as well. We'll see how it goes, I hope you all are learning and enjoying your class. Don't be bored to death, If you have questions, please ask. Yes.
Interesting, your class. One of the courses which I have attended by Super GGM, because I actually very reluctant to attend courses introduced by GM, especially from their in-house training. But external one, I make it a bet to make my time available. I think to look things from other perspective. But you are one of the best trainer around.
Thank you so much.
One trainer. I think
Alex
you make it very simple for us. Become a course trainer that he just talk. It's too technical. No. We general insurance agent, we are not that. We need to know a bit of technical, but make it in simplest form.
Basic, yes.
Yeah, it's practical. How for us, it's enough for us information for us to conduct sales. That is the thing which I admire. You put practical.
When you do your evaluation, you get.
That's what I will do. Don't worry.
Alex is the one who is very kind to me to give me this opportunity. So I said, okay, fine. Alex is one who put me in. Asked me to cover. Yeah. But you see, I also teach professional program for level 1, level 2. So that's why I always like to use simple example. I like simple example like motor accident dog bite some trainers are not like that. They're very high level they always use high level example. But cannot. It's better to use
different audience. They forgot they are doing with different audience.
Yes, the audience level is different. High class audience. So I like to go to the lowest because that's why I use the example like dog run from the house and buy car accident. to use all the high examples because easier for you all to understand it, especially those. So I hope you all enjoying it. Okay, let's finish product first. Then we'll talk afterwards. Okay. Now products also because most of it I already told you the main criteria and all. But okay, what does the policy cover? I want to give you a scenario. So assume you have a factory and you manufacture computers. Okay, a customer buys your computer. Whilst using the computer explodes. Okay, because the computer explodes, this is the scenario. The customer will suffer bodily injury, maybe his hands or his face or whatever. His watch, maybe he wearing Rolex watch, this man also got damaged or gone. So he can claim for two things. But the thing about product liability, you must know, is the person must use or consume the product. Then they can claim under products liability. So just now paying your question, product liability is not only for manufacturer. We sell product liability to retailer, to distributor, to supplier. It all depends on the agreement between the manufacturer and these people. You see, if I'm a manufacturer and once the product leave my factory, sometimes people can do something, change something in the product. It happens, right? So that's why you see, you look at warranty also. Why is it like when you do your car service, you do your computer service, whatever products, electrical products that got warranty, you must send back to the manufacturer, right? They don't allow you to go and do outside, because they're scared if you go outside to a non-manufacturer, they might do something that is not right and cause incident like this to happen. That's why the warranty is gone when you actually go and send your car to service to a not the franchise or the manufacturer, you see. That's the reason. So product liability, that's the reason. If someone else takes your product and does something with it, a claim can happen, you see. Okay, and just a simple blank one. Let's say you sell bottled drink. Okay. Yes, cyber security we don't cover. It's an exclusion. You're right. Because that's cyber security. Security is different, you see. Security, the insured must exercise care to make sure there's security. Cyber security we don't cover. True. That's for computer. We only cover damage to the computer causing bodily injury or property damage. To the computer, property damage to the computer. No cyber security. Okay, so we will cover third-party bodily injury or property damage sustained by the insured due to the product supplied, sold, or distributed by the insured. So when this question, early morning, your question, you asked me why the retailer is responsible. You see it here. Okay, manufacturers, including component part manufacturers. That means the parts that they use to fix, like the aviation industry, the aeroplanes. There are companies that build the plane, but the parts come from different companies. So the part manufacturer also must buy product liability because if one part, imagine a plane, even if one screw is not the right size, they put the screw in and the plane goes up, the pressure is high, the plane can explode, So that's why including component part manufacturers. Okay, distributors. I told you why already this morning. Retailers. Each may be liable regardless of which entity created the defect. It could be the manufacturer defect. It could be the component part manufacturer defect. But when it comes to your custody and control, the manufacturer already signed agreement with you to the retailer to say, once it's in your custody and control, you are responsible. So read the contract agreement. So any one of these people can become liable for product liability, not only manufacturer. Please remember that. Okay, so what does the policy pay for? The customer must be third party. Yes, sir. No. For products liability, even the insured is damaged will pay, and not necessarily third party. Both third party and the insured as well. Okay, so a third party is someone who is not the insured. The insured's employees, the insured staff, anyone connected to the insured. But if let's say I am the insured, I due to my product I'm damaged, then I can get. But usually it's the third party who uses your product that's liable to make a claim. Okay, so remember I was talking to you about the Honda Civic? So I bought a Honda Civic at that time, many years ago, and I was asked to go and replace the airbag because the airbag was faulty. All right, so the airbag was faulty. There was one accident somewhere in Damansara where this lady was driving the Honda Civic. She knocked into it, just like bang only, bang into the Mercedes Benz, and the airbag over, but it injured her. She died. Just a small accident, no. And so what happened is, all of us were, Honda sent us a letter, asked to send the car back to change free of charge, to change the airbag. Because it's cheaper for them to change the airbag for us rather than paying us for bodily injury and property damage. Because they got guarantee. So that's why I remember this Honda Civic. I think at one time, one of the battery also, a problem. I remember, I can't remember now which one it is. What battery was it? There was one time, one of the battery also got problem. Which they also asked to send back replace all the batteries. I can't remember which brand, one of the brands. So many cases, and products, of course, the worst products that we must be very careful with when we cover is products that are consumed internally. Slimming tablets, vitamins, so many of these companies. Remember, I think Century, few years, 2-3 years ago, after the pandemic, I think, right? Century 21 tablets, they had something wrong and they call back one. But we don't pay for product recall. Our product liability policy won't pay for product recall. Product recall means they find something wrong with the product, then the product must be called back. Like what I said just now, the Honda all call back. They call back. That was the 21st century vitamin tablets. Few years ago, not very long ago. Okay, then they call back all the vitamins. Then the manufacturer must destroy all these vitamins, make new one and replace. That's why our product liability policy won't cover product recall, won't cover, yes, it's an extension, correct. I think I heard you good. You seem to be doing a lot of product liability, I think. It seems to be, yes, product recall is an extension.
I sold one or two.
Wonder you seem to know quite well.
Not as good,
yeah,
but a lot of work.
Your questions are a lot of work, a lot of information you must get. Your first thing you do is when you want to do product liability, you must get their brochure, Because only from the brochure you will know what are the components they are using. Sometimes it's not the product, it's the component, Remember I told you about like aviation, the planes that they make, because aviation, the planes they make, they use screws, Sometimes if the screw is not right, fitted into the plane can go up and cause an explosion, So that's why whenever you do product liability, first thing you do is you get the brochure. You get all the parts, components and all that, because sometimes the components more dangerous than the product by itself. You understand? Okay, all right. Good thing that you're doing product liability. I think not many people do product liability. So it's good that if you're actively involved. So roughly you know what is product liability about. Okay, all right. What does the policy pay for? Third-party bodily injury, in that case just now, injury to the hand, and third-party property damage, the watch damage. So I just purposely use Rolex, like expensive watch. Okay, and also don't forget liability policy, legal costs, claimants costs, defense costs, costs and expenses. Just now I told you under what you call professional indemnity. So, but must be due to the use of the product. They must use the product. Only then they can claim. And there must be a problem when they use it. There's also been a lot of claims from pressure cookers. Pressure cookers also got a lot now. Pressure cooker, the problem sometimes is the operation is not clearly stated. So instead of releasing the pressure and then opening, some customers go and open the pressure cooker. So gonna explode onto the face. Remember the pressure cooker, a lot of claims now. And then in Malaysia, we are not so used to the lawn mower, right? We don't normally get the Nepalese guy, the come and cut out grass. In Europe, no, Europe, all you have no such temporary worker. So they use the lawnmower. A lot of cases of lawnmower injury also got. This type of products, electrical products, pressure cooker, rice cooker, so far, no lah. Pressure cooker is the worst. I've seen a lot of cases. Right? So must be very careful when you're insuring pressure cooker. Yeah, pressure cooker, normally. Pressure cooker is the one, the worst. I've seen a lot of examples. Sometimes I just go to Google to read, to know. Of course, not all the cases I've seen by myself. But like cars, yes, I've come across a lot. Consuming products, yes, especially products that are consumed internally. Like stringers, drips, all that must be very careful. If you write that kind of products, you might have to be extra careful. Anything that goes into the body, I have to be very careful. The worst is I've seen last singing. Bodily injury, yes, that's what we compensate for. What financial losses? Correct. True. Wait, I'll open the chat box a bit later, then I go through one more time your questions. Because randomly, sometimes it goes very fast, So anyway, I'll answer whatever I can read. Yes. Okay. Financial losses, yes. Legal cost expenses, all these financial losses. Well, medication, treatment, financial loss. Well, everything will be paid for. When you talk about bodily injury claim, it include all these things. And then to repair, also need what? Financial loss. We pay. Not only to repair, we pay for the cost expenses. Okay. All right. So I'll go to your question later and look at the chat box later. Let me finish this first. Okay. We got a few more slides to be, not many. We'll finish in time too. Okay. Thank God I'm quite good at time management. I normally will try to finish within the time. Okay. So many years teaching now, I have to manage, right? Okay. Now, product liability. Let me finish a few more slides and then I'll go to your Q&A. Okay. You can ask me questions anytime. You can also type questions at that time. Okay. Product liability insurance, protection against financial loss. Your question. I haven't even come to the slide. You're asking a question. Protection against financial loss arising out of legal liability incurred by the insurer because of injury or damage resulting from the covered product. Who's talking? Who's talking? Are you talking to me? If not, please mute for a while. Just bear with me a little while more. We're almost finishing already. Just bear a little while more. Resulting from the covered product or out of liability incurred by a contractor after a job is completed. So sometimes the contractor comes and does, like, for example, let's say plumber. Okay, the plumber comes to your house, does your plumbing work. So this plumber said, please cover for my outside work. So then what happened? The whole plumber's job explained. Caused flooding. Caused a bodily injury. Come on. Now, if it's not due to the product, then it will be under professional indemnity. But if it's due to the product defect, then cover under product liability. Completed work. Sometimes even roof collapse, right? How many times have we seen failed software? I'll come to that question of yours. I see a question in the chat box. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. So, you know how many times you have seen even in Malaysia roof collapse, right? Because of the defect in the product. If the roof collapsed because of the defect in the product, it becomes a product liability claim. Okay. All right. I know also of some cars catch fire, defect in the manufacturing of the car, manufacture of the car catch fire. So that's all product liability. That's all product liability in all law. Okay. We've seen so many cars catching fire. Okay. Now also maybe after the pandemic also, you see a lot of claims coming up from not proper maintenance. Because everybody is cutting costs on maintenance. You know how many flights also have got issues? Emergency landing, this, that, because of maintenance. You read the aviation industry, so got a lot of claims now, All technical problems. All technical defect. You know why? Maintenance not good. Nobody went. During the pandemic, very badly affected. Okay. Product liability claim, submit all the claim form documentation, look at the claim form, the documents required, and must have proof that you suffer, like normal claims documents, that you suffer bodily injury due to the use of product, you submit all your documentations accordingly. Same procedure. You have to inform, of course, inform you all first because they only know you all, they don't know us. If I'm a Peng Lai Hot's customer, I'll go to him first. I don't know, I won't go to GEGM, right? Because I only know him, he deals with me. Then he will take it to the claims department, get the claim form, see what are the documents required, give it to your insured, ask the insured to submit all the documents. Sometimes need more evidence, second opinion, third opinion, have to do, especially in this. If your manufacturer already extend to cover distributor retailer, then your manufacturer's policy will cover. If he already extend to cover all his distributors, suppliers, retailers, then the manufacturer policy will cover. But sometimes what manufacturer do is, manufacturer will sign a contract with the retailer to tell the retailer, once the product leave my factory, go to your premises, you are liable. Then the retailer must buy. So it depends on the agreement between but just now the case you tell me, manufacturer extend to cover, but the risk is higher. Anything can happen at the retailer's premises. But they do, yes, they do. So you must check the contract. So what you must read, Okay, so let's look at product liability scope of cover. I give you another version. We will pay the sums that the name insured become legally obligated to pay as damages due to personal injury or property damage included within product hazards to which the insurance is purchased. Will arise. Okay, so we will have the right and duty to defend the name insured against any civil suit seeking dust damages. So meaning when you go to court, the insurer is the one who will go to court and represent the insurer in all the cases that are going. Okay, we have the right and duty to defend the name insurer. That means the insurer has the right to defend against any suit. So any suit and all, you give it to the insurance company. The insurance applies to personal injury and property damage only if the personal injury or property damage is caused by an occurrence that takes place in the territorial limits. Just now I already told you what is territorial limits and what is jurisdiction, right? Quick recap. What is jurisdiction? Jurisdiction refers to what? When your policy says jurisdiction Malaysian means what? What? Means the court case we can only use Malaysian law. Yes. Right, Peng Lai Hai. When you use the claim, you cannot use, it happened in US, it happened in Canada. I'm an American, so I want to use American law. If you put jurisdiction Malaysian means you can only use Malaysian. Easier, because Malaysian law, we know the amount of claim, the type of claim, the limits and all. If you go use American or Canadian law, it's different, They use jury system. We only got one person judge who makes the decision. We already understand our law. So that's why we don't use USA and Canada. Different. And in US, if you make a claim, that's why sometimes people like to go to. Again, who additional insurer? Wait, hold on. Let me see. What is this? Wait, let me finish. I'll come back to your chat box. Just give me. I couldn't read your question. It went off too fast. I better go back to the chat box and give you the answer. Hold on. Okay, so like you see in US and Canada, when they can food allergy lah. That will be F&B lah. They buy also. But I'll come to your chat box questions. I'll come and answer. Just give me. You can type now. You can type later. So no problem. I'll come to that. Let me finish the slides first. I've got another few more slides to go. Let me finish that first. Okay. So of course we know and remember liability policy can be on claims made or occurrence basis, right? The one you remember just now I taught you, right? So for personal injury or property damage does not occur before the retroactive date. I already explained this to you, shown in the schedule or after the end of the policy period, then you claim on the current policy. Retroactive date and current policy, A claim or suit is brought in the designated jurisdiction. We cannot go and, if it's, let's say I'm an American and I say, okay, I want to go to America and sue. We don't allow. Because America, the court awards are very big. And the documentation that they use is very minimal. That's why people like to go to America and make claim. That's why we don't allow. We want jurisdiction only Malaysia. System is different. But we use British law. Malaysian law is very much like British law, of course, a few changes. American and Canadian law is different. So that's why we always say jurisdiction Malaysian only. Territory means which countries we can cover. So even if you're from another country that we cover, but when you do the case, you must use Malaysian law. You cannot take the case anywhere else. So that's the difference between jurisdiction and territory. Okay, guys? I'll come to the chat box shortly. Okay, personal injury means bodily injury, sickness or disease. Yeah, later, wait, hold on. Coming there. Bodily injury or sickness or disease, including death, fright, disability. So that means even if you have got a trauma, because you use the product like car accident or whatever, because of the failure of the whatever battery, engine, whatever, is considered as personal injury. False arrest, detention or imprisonment, people catch you and put you in jail. You also is a trauma, can claim. Malicious prosecution. You get prosecuted. So no, if you allow the product to be sent overseas, you put there what? Territorial limit. If the territorial limit is what you are covering, can. Overseas so can, but must do in Malaysia, Malaysian law, because jurisdiction is Malaysian. So territory is which countries you cover. Jurisdiction is which law. So even if it's that country, they must come back and use the Malaysian law. Okay. Now product hazard include all personal injury and property damage occurring away from premises you own or rent and arising out of your product, except products that are still in your physical possession. So as long as you got a branch in, let's say, Singapore, we cover. But using Malaysian law, cannot sue in Singapore, must use Malaysian law. Okay, so, okay. All right, so those are the definitions. You can go back and read. Okay, property damage means physical damage to destruction or loss of tangible property, including loss of use thereof at any time resulting therefrom. Does your staff got coverage for personal injury, personal liability? The one is personal liability. Come to that shortly. Loss of use of tangible property which has been physically damaged or destroyed, provided such loss use is caused by physical damage or other tangible property, like your airbag. Airbag, gone, cannot use the car already. So you can claim for loss of use. Remember just now asking financial loss, that's financial loss, loss of use. Right? Your product means, wait, I'll come to your chat box, Lee. Hold on. Your product means any goods or products other than real property manufactured, sold, handled, distributed, or disposed, and you Others trading under your name, you or your retailers, distributors, or person or organization whose business or assets you have acquired, that means partnership, containers, materials, parts, or equipment furnished in connection with such products, such goods or products. Anything to do with all these things that result in bodily injury or property damage to the person using the product. Okay, supplementary payments. We will pay with respect to any claims. So just now somebody asked me a question on claims, right? So what will they pay once you've submitted the claim? We will pay all expenses we incur, the cost of the bonds, all reasonable expenses to assist us in the investigation and defense of the claim. That's what insurance company will pay. All cost tax against the name insured in the suit. Interest awarded against the name insured. So if the court makes any award for interest, we will pay all interest of the full amount, a judgment that occurs after entry of the registry. So any legal costs and expenses the insurance company, the policy will pay. Okay. All right. The policy will not pay for the following losses, howsoever sustained. Employees' liability, no. Deliberate act you purposely do, no. These are exclusions. War risk, nuclear energy, no. Contractual liability can only cover under CGL. So afternoon we will look at that. Property belonging to or in the charge or under the control of the insured. That means if the property is still with you, not sold, not used by anybody yet, no cover. Faulty design or formula. This will be more under professional damage. Okay. Product recall, product guarantee, warranty, we don't cover. All these separate. Okay. Can extend to cover, but we don't cover. We also exclude marine aviation products because the risk is very high. These are standard exclusions. Look at your policy. Asbestos can cause cancer, so we don't cover. Okay. Damage to impact property or property not physically damaged. So if your property is not damaged, you cannot claim under this policy. It must be damaged. Fines, penalties, punitive and explanatory damages that you are liable to pay. As a manufacturer, we won't pay because fines and penalties, you must be responsible for it. Okay. Expected or intended injury from the standpoint of the name. Expected injury, we don't pay. Must get injured. Don't say, oh, but I bought a pressure cooker, I can get injured, so I want to claim. No. Must get injured. Professional liability, we don't pay because professional liability is under PI. Okay. Okay. Then the next one is warranted product conform with national standard of the warranted product must conform to national standard and country of export. So if you're exporting it to another country, you must meet the requirements of that country. Okay, otherwise you don't cover. Okay, it is hereby declared and agreed that the products manufactured, sold, or distributed by the insured conforms with the national standard of the country of export. Just now, like somebody says Singapore got different standards, right? So if you send to Singapore, must follow Singapore standards. Subject otherwise to terms and conditions of this policy. Otherwise you don't cover. Okay, efficacy exclusion. Yes, okay. Medicine and all that. Yes, okay. The policy does not apply to liability rising directly or indirectly out of or caused by or in connection with failure of the product or part thereof to fulfill the purpose for which it was intended or performed as specified, warranted, represented, or guaranteed by insured. So if the insured say, this product can do this, but it didn't do that, you won't pay. That is called efficacy exclusion, subject to terms and conditions of the policy. So, for example, if you say the product can do this, but it doesn't do, we won't pay. Professional indemnity is different. Just now, this is products liability. Okay, product recall, we don't cover unless you extend to cover. Normally sold as an extension. Limit would normally be sub-limited. That means there's a limit. All right, expenses incurred to recall a product due to known or suspected defect in the product. Like I told you, the Century's 21st vitamin pills, they will call back. We don't cover. If you want to cover this, you must get consent of the insurer. Expenses covered is communication expenses, logistics to recall the product. You must let everybody know what they cannot use the product anymore, stop buying the product, right? So that's communication. And then you recall the product back. You must destroy the product and you must replace it with a better product. So all this is covered under product recall. We don't cover. All this is under product recall. We don't cover unless they extend to cover. Okay. Okay, so we look at some examples, quick examples of claim examples of product recall. Let me finish this a little while. Recall market facing 75 million loss over GIF salmonella outbreak. Salmonella is, poisoning, food poisoning. Outbreak 22nd June 2022. The product recall market is looking at a potential $75 million loss stemming from the recall of a certain JM Smucker GIF peanut butter products following a salmonella contamination. Insurance insider understands. That means this peanut butter is contaminated. Okay, so JM Smucker said it was recalling nearly 50 types of its Jif peanut butter sold in the US after US Food and Drug Administrator, which is FDA, investigation into a multi-state outbreak of salmonella infections. The total loss quantum remains unclear, but sources say it could be a full limit loss of 75 million. CBS reported that 17 companies who had to pull their products since the recall was announced, including Walmart. Ojai-based James Smucker recently warned of a 125 million hit in fiscal 2023 from the recall of the Jif peanut butter products following possible salmonella contamination, according to Reuters. The affected products include creamy and crunchy peanut butter to go bags, and natural squeeze products. So this is a case. This one you can read on your own, nothing for me to explain. Okay, another example of food and cosmetic recalls have been on decline over the past years. Yeah, lipsticks cost very common one. Products, makeup products. So this one also you can read on your own. You go back and read, and then I want you all to do the evaluation first. This is on product recalls. Not only peanut butter, even makeup products, lipstick products got a lot. Okay, that have been called in electrical products. So you see all the examples of cars, which I've shared with you, electrical products, and makeup. Very common product recall. Okay, so underwriting considerations, quick one, type of product turnover. Every product has a different rate, depends on the product. You can buy back, you must ask, recall, you must request, then you can buy back, yes. Okay, based on international standards, look at ISO, whether they follow or not. Rate can be reduced based on the country of export. Let's export less cheaper. Assume rate 1% USA, then if it exports to Asia, rate is 80%, therefore the rate would be 0.2% for the Asia. Asia is cheaper. If you go to US, it's more expensive. The rate of 0.20% will then be applied to the amount. So this one, it depends on the underwriter. It's just an example. Anyway, your underwriter has seen these slides, so I guess they agree. Okay, turnover breakdown between exports. So normally we want how much is export, how much is domestic. So you have to give that to your insurer. Okay, all right. Okay, premium will then be moderated based on the following. So this one also you can read. Okay, how we base the premium. My experience, track record, how long the insured been manufacturing the product, any issues, does the product comply to recognized safety standards, ISO standards, internet search on the company. Please do an internet search to find out about the product. Then you can send for quotations. The products all got website one. You can look at the product, understand the issues of the product. Okay. Now claims, we look at 3 to 5 years claims experience due to long tail nature of liability claim. Premium increase, decrease based on claims. More claims you have, more increase. Deductible also chosen based on the claims to exclude minor or most claims. So got deductible, excess. Experience and track record of company, established product or new product. So we want to know new product, normally very difficult. Established product, easier to underwrite. Okay. Okay, so this one is IKEA, bookshelf falling on children. IKEA, airbag falls deployment resulting in death. This is Honda. I already showed you shared the example with you. Okay, one carry single day, Petronas screen covers, wolf management system also got problem. Okay, bicycle resulting in death, serious injury. These are examples. Myriada and Giant, food products, garments, strangulation due to trauma. Garments are like a string can kill. Okay, so that's that from me. I think I still got 5 more minutes now. Why y'all complain so much? Okay, so done already. Any questions? Okay, so now I think you have to do the evaluation first before you leave. Can I pass back to, or you have any questions? Or I pass back to Alex. Is Alex around?
Yes, I'm around. Yeah, thank you, Sharon, for very wonderful sharing with a simple language. that
Thank you
make
so
our
much.
agents understood or understand the whole sessions. For the rest of agents or for agents, please stay tuned as usual. Yeah. So we're going to launch the polling and please get it completed before you leave the training. This session, this training room.
I stop share first, then you can share.
It's okay. Yeah, I can do concurrent, no issue. Yeah. All right, I already launched the polling. Dear agents, please get it completed. Quite straightforward. There are only 8 questions. Thereafter, you may leave this Webex training platform. Thank you very much.
5 more minutes, so answer lah your 10 questions. I give you time, enough time.
Yeah, I mean you can just pick out the questions, share if you wish to because this can be done concurrent, no issue.
Okay.
Otherwise, then you may just leave it in our
Questions as well, and you can answer those questions as well. No problem. Concurrently. Thank you so much, guys, for all your patience. 300 today. Okay. Answer the questions first. Don't thank me. No need to thank me. Answer questions. I might see some of you in the afternoon again.
Can I have the Slido again? Because I changed my login from live to general results that.
Well, if you log in again, then what you need to do very simple. Let me share the Slido slide again for you to understand better. Give me some seconds. Give me a few moments. Let me see. Let me share over here.
Just answer those questions, please. Then I see you in the afternoon, okay?
Give me a moment for me to share the slides again for the Slido processes or procedure. Let me see where did I locate this now.